Hey, you guys, what's going on? I'm getting it together. We were having some technical difficulties for whatever reason. It was crowded on the internet, apparently. But say hi to me when you get here. What I say? I won't be here long because I am a little delayed. But needless to say, I'm here. So give me a heart and a thumbs up once you get here. This week is definitely better than last week. So thank y'all for being here with me last week. Doing our brief little intermission. Yeah. I've been super I've been super busy. Like really doing different things and channeling and getting into some new stuff. So I'm just super excited about this. So make sure you give me a heart and a thumbs up when you get here, share the show. If you are not already, subscribe to the channel below. Okay. Follow me on all platforms. I just want to know how you guys doing. What's been going on with everybody? It's Wednesday. The kids are getting ready for school. Okay. I know some of y'all parents are excited and looking forward to that. Are you prepared for school? Did you already finish your school shopping? When does school start? Don't it start in like a week, like next week or something? And then they what? They end up being out of school after that. But say hi to me when you get here so I'll know where you are tuning in from and where you are. You know why I get on here and do my little Sherry thing. Okay. Sorry, guys. That's why I gotta turn this stuff off. I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I thought I was about to have to go and do the show from different locations and all this other stuff from different setups and stuff. So this is why I said I have to finish getting everything in order so I'll be able to have my backups for my backup. Okay? Because God knows I need that. But what's going on? It looks like that they found some new information in regards to the Nolan Wells case, and then Carmelo Anthony as well. But I don't think we're gonna get into that today, y'all. We're not gonna get into none of that stuff. Hey Andre, how are you? Look, I was delayed and all, and you are right there. Technology just wasn't trying to let me be great today, but I just want to get here, talk for a little bit, and then I'm getting off, on and off. You don't believe me? Last week I was here in a quick fast, and then I'll pew. But how are you doing, Andre? What's going on with you? At first, I felt like I had so much that I wanted to say, and now I feel like I've sat down and I'm speechless. You ever had a moment like that where it's like, you're getting a constant brain fart, like weird, but who knows? We are in a better space this week. This week was definitely so much better. The last couple of weeks have been better. I'm just adjusting to new scheduling. As y'all can see, I took some stuff off of the wall. I'm in here. Some things are missing. All around here, just getting into that. And I'm like, okay, I have to really lock in so I can get the studio. I have guests lined up. Yes, I have some guests lined up. I've been working on that. For all of you guys who didn't know, yep. So we will be having more guests. I'm still trying to get people to join the panel, right? But I'm going to do guests once we get all this stuff redecorated. So the quicker I break the studio down and put it back together, be the quicker I'm able to do different things. So it's different things that I wanted to discuss today. Just several little things. You guys can let me know. Maybe I'll put the call in chat in. Andre, shout out to Andre. He called last week. It was me and him in here rocking. You know what I'm saying? I was in a mood. I was in a way. I do have something that I want you guys to help me with today. Okay. Let it go or let flow, because I like to let y'all in, and it's something that caused me to be a little flustered today. And I guess the purpose of one of the messages tonight is don't let nobody trick you out your spot. Okay. Don't get tricked out your spot. Hey, Candy in the chat. Oh, well, hey, lady, how you been? What's going on? How you been? How was your day? Andre said, I am good. Do I need to give y'all a little story time, or do I need to just go straight into some of the discussions that I want to talk about tonight? Because I want to know what you guys think. this is just come off of some of the conversations I've been having, different things that I've been seeing, and one of the things is love enough to keep a relationship together, like, or people together? You know what Cisco say? Is it enough to make you stay with me? I think I'm gonna have to listen to that song. He said, "Is it enough?" I know, Andre. I know you know that song. He said, "To make you stop crying." Now, when I think about that, if he's saying, "Is love enough to make you stop crying?" that means that there's an implication that you're doing some cruddy stuff to make me cry. God dang it. This is what I'm saying. You know what? I don't even want to get mad. The more we listen to these lyrics that these people were singing back in the day, boy, it'll reveal some stuff. It won't it? It'll reveal some stuff, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you'll be like, what was I listening to? Andre said, absolutely not. You know what, Andre? It is so funny because I ain't gonna lie. These last couple of shows, this last month, you have been on your ain't nobody got time for that bag. You know, absolutely not. Hey, Benicia, they say, hey, Andre. And that is, I feel like that is a really important question or things like that, because we could apply it to everything, don't you think? I'm trying to fix this. Y'all, there is something going on in the system, and we had technical difficulties, and now it's trying to even glitch over here in a section. But we're gonna rebuke that. So I'm trying to think. Look, do we need to get straight into it, or do I need to give y'all the story time? Because listen, I'm heavy in my try to do the right thing era. Let me put this in the chat because I want to know. Oh, y'all are saying love ain't enough. What? Look at me. What? How? Look at me. How I share the show. Look at me. Now I forgot how to. We got to talk about this. That's shocking because usually women, they say us women feel like love can conquer it all, right? We usually feel like love. Y'all, I am definitely having a brain freeze. I done forgot how to share the show. Oh, look me. I done forgot how to share the link. But it's interesting, I want to know, is it? Look at me sound like a broken record. That's how some of these relationships is, okay? A broken record. Just simply because, I feel like at some point we're taught like love is supposed to, conquer it all. If you can do anything, you can overcome anything. But I've been learning here lately that, not a lot of people feel like love is enough. The curved arrow. What's the curved arrow? The curved arrow. Oh, you trying to tell me how to share? No, it's not the curved arrow on here. This is through my streaming system. And Andre, you said no. You saying no. So my thing is, if we are supposed to treat one another how we want to be treated, right? And be compassionate and understanding and things like that, I feel like love could kind of be. Well, I don't know, because y'all chew me up. Because then y'all gonna say, but what about this? Because if you think about it, right, isn't love a part of the relationship, right? That is often more times than none used, that keep us in situations that we second guess or we know may or may not work, or just the unknown, right? Because if love is not enough to keep the relationship or whatever afloat, right, then what is it that makes you stay past the expiration dates? And it's not even, I'm not talking about the other stuff. We're not about to do that. Don't be one of them. I'm talking about the house, the kids. Take all of that shiggity out of there. Like, let's look at it all together. If love is not enough to keep a situation sustained, You know, we know people have to communicate. We know there has to be understanding. We know that, there are a lot of things, but at the same time, right? If you can say that love is not enough to keep the relationship together, how can it be that love is the very thing that makes us stay? Clip that, because that's a good goddamn question. Okay, let's see where we at today. Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Audrey always ready. I'm gonna send you the link. But what y'all thinking? Like for real, like let's really, what I like to say, let's unpack that. We can say that love is not enough to keep a relationship together, but we'll use love as the very reason to stay when things are going wrong, when your heart is constantly being stepped on and things are being broken, or, you just can't move past certain things in the relationship. And it's like we're almost taught, hey, Shirley girl, we're almost taught that, from coming up, right? Even when we look at the movies, I'm sending you the link, Cinderella, all of that is like, oh, love came and saved Rapunzel out of the mansion. Love came and saved Snow White. And love, it's just like the core base to everything is love. And a lot of the times, that's the main universal love. That's what God is love, right? In its purest form. And it's not always not about like an intimate type of love. It's just that, compassionate, understanding, non-judgmental, forgiving, let's get into it. Sometimes people staying is because they have convinced themselves of other things. So they've convinced themselves of other things. Yeah, like what? Like, let's get some of those examples. Just simply because it almost seems like a little oxymoron statement. Love is not enough to keep a relationship together, but love is enough to make you be like, oh, well, why you not leaving? The first thing you're going to say is because I love him. I love that man. You turn into Tina Turner. What she say? I care. Heard you went to see the preacher man. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, it gets tricky. I'm trying to send you the link, Andre, because I already know you about to give me we about to really try to see it. I want to see a different perspective. I want to see if we can see it from a different perspective. Because yes, it's definitely the most important factor. And I sent you the link. It's definitely an important factor. But let me ask y'all a question. Because now we're getting on to some other things. Because I guess, right, love could possibly not be enough, right? If the person that you're in a relationship with is not fulfilling you with what you need from them to thrive, right? Relationships are a give and take, right? Relationships are a give and take. You pour into me, I pour into you, we pour into each other. But it just seems as if that when things come up, what we do, we don't communicate, we pull apart rather than pull closer. The very same things that you end up liking or what attracted you and brought you to said partner is this begins to turn into the same things that you no longer like. It's one of those things, and it just seems like can we consider it to be a double-edged sword? I want to know. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Look, I love it. Talk to me, talk to me. I seen that comment come up. You said absolutely not. Let me tell you, Andre, you ain't here for it. What's going on?
Because I think a lot of times people stay and it's not because the love has already been gone. The love is gone out the relationship. sometimes it's just out of fear of not being alone. You just don't want to be alone. You can't face that fact of just sitting in that space and being alone.
Hmm.
So you stay.
So love is not enough for a relationship to stay and be together, right? But your insecurities
I'll
are.
keep you there. I'll keep exactly. Will keep you there.
Okay, okay, come through.
Because
I think we're getting somewhere. We're getting to start to chew on some things.
because you'll realize the love was gone. It could have been gone a year ago, and you still holding on because one, some people can't face that fact of being alone, and some don't want other people to know that the relationship didn't work. So their pride and their ego is making them hold on for those other reasons. But everybody else could be the sense that the love been gone. But because I don't want to admit that I'm alone, I'm going to still allow myself to be in a space.
Hmm. I'm thinking. So love is not enough. So if let me ask you a question. If people can break up to make up, that's what we do, right? Then and you know how I definitely believe that you may not be in love with a person every day all day. Whatever that
Right.
whatever that may look like with all those other things, right? But I remember I had a conversation with one of my friends' parents. They were married, up until, you know, the passing, right? And he said, it definitely takes two people that have to want it. But he said, you also have to know that you are not going to be in love the whole time. Like you're both going to love each other. The love is going to be there, but that over the hill skyrocket out the park, it comes and goes because they're dealing with life, you're dealing with life, and then y'all individual lives, and then y'all are dealing and doing life together. Because it's like, you definitely have to put, I understand that people have to put in the work for the relationship in order for the relationship to work, right? But if we're just simply talking about is love enough to keep the relationship together, based off of, like I said, the conversation that I had with my friends, um parents, right? And he made that clear, and actually he had that conversation with me and one of my significant others. Thank God I dodged the bullet. Okay. um Long, not too, I mean, long ago, and explained that. And I think that it was very important because if people, like I said, break up, make up, and get back together, and you still there, and y'all stay together, and it's like, oh, because I love them, so X, Y, and Z. When you say that, the love is gone, or it's been gone a long time ago, it's possible to rekindle it, and it's possible for it to come back, because when you break up with a person and y'all get back together, that's what y'all do. You're like, damn, I still love her. I still love him. I want to get past and move this. I think what happens is in relationships, we forget that all relationships, something you come to an impasse. Can't get over it, can't get under it, can't go around it, gotta go through it. But it definitely has to do with putting um things into perspective and motion.
I mean
And
that's true.
you know, and
But
it's like when you say too, like, what does the love being gone out of a relationship looks like to you? What does that mean? Like, I want to know myself as well, because we all have different things that we've experienced. So put it in the comments, share the show. What does it look like when love is gone? Whether it be what you think it looks like, whether it be what did one of your relationships or some of your relationships, hell, or all your relationships look like when the love was gone, like when it was completely gone. Because it's the love completely gone, or did so many things happen that put the cherry on top? You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. And if you want to call in and chit chat with me and Andre, you can, or share your opinion if you feel like it might be too much to type. But let's really look at these things and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, we'll keep going as good handy Mandy say, we go from person to person, spilling and bleeding on one another, right? That anytime you get with somebody and they not doing what you feel like they should do, you ready to go. So it's like, let's get into what that really looks like when you come to these empaths in relationships and situationships. Well, not situationships, but these relationships, when it's like, okay, you know, when do you know you've tried or you could try?
See,
Ooh, I feel
when
like
you have,
loaded. I feel like this is a loaded, huh?
when you have people that like get together and then, like you said, then they, the first thing come arise, and then it's like, oh no, I'm gone. It was never any love there from the beginning. They didn't get together on love. They got together on other reasons. That's why they can't work through the problem that's at hand.
So is that saying that love
Was never
is,
present right there. That wasn't love. That
ooh,
wasn't love.
oh, that's another. Okay, Andre said
Because
that. He said, say it again. So I like to mix up people's words and my
that
own.
wasn't that wasn't love right there. Because
So
most people, like you said, they love each other and a problem come up. Sometimes you, like you said, love will get them through the situation if they're willing to put in the work and get through it. But when they don't love there, they gone out the door, because it's not, it was never any feelings, nothing there to even fight for. So they're gone.
Benita said, before love, that other person has to make you laugh, know what your favorites are, good conversation, know your fears, respects you and your family. Okay. She also said, to me, it looks like a lot of crying, listening to certain music, getting rid of certain things that we shared, and then anger, depending on why the love is gone. Okay, you're saying that the love is gone in our relationships when there's no more I miss yous, no more listening to music, no more having conversations and things like that. What I can say, that would be the one. That's one of the things that can sometimes also be frustrating. Um, I know for me as well. If I'm with somebody, but it's not even see a lot of my stuff, y'all know, it's not specific to just really. I'm like that with everybody. If I'm not able to express how I feel, without it seeming like it's a burden, or if I just can't think and ask questions just because I'm a thinker, without it being like accusatory or an assumption of what's going on or something, that makes me that pushes me out. That'll make me shut down. That can make me shut down. I don't know if anybody else like that. Maybe Andre, like when things are going on and you're trying to communicate that, and it's just not being, I guess, it's being interpreted in a different way. I'll be like, you know what? I don't even want to talk. It's like you just become just there.
Yeah, that's all the time. I
Ah,
will live. And honestly, as I said, that's all the time. And I tell you all the time, if we get in an argument and I go mute, yeah, because one, I gotta first analyze the situation
yeah.
before I even say anything. Because I said, if I go off of raw emotions and feelings, it's not going to work well. So my escape
Yeah.
mechanism is to always shut down and be quiet.
Shut down
And
and be quiet.
shut down and be quiet. And people be like, well, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I won't say anything because I'm,
Yeah.
I'm processing what's going on.
Processing.
Because I don't want to
Yes.
act on raw emotions and be like, okay, maybe I'm wrong here. So I got to
Mm.
analyze what just happened, and then we can have the conversation.
Okay. See, so you need to have some quiet before you guys can have a conversation. And you remind me of old school when you said, once I go mute, my mother used to say that, look, it's a mute point. That means shut up, ain't no coming back from it. Be quiet. I don't want to hear it. It is what it is. And that's crazy, I think that we all are like that, and it's very rare, like you said, we find people who are willing or wanting to go through that process with you.
Right.
Because you got, we're all in different stages, right? You may
Right.
be in the stage in your life where you got a little more patience, so you can go through it. You can listen and you can say, all right, she just mad, shake it over it. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Where somebody else maybe in their process was like, no, we're gonna have to talk about it today, because if we don't talk about it right now, we don't talk about it today, you just gotta go and I just gotta go. We just call it a quits. Then you have some people who want to talk and keep talking about it because they want to exhaust and
Right.
feel like they gave their best foot forward,
Right.
because when they're done, they're done. And then you have people in the stages life that's gonna be like we was talking about earlier. What you did, what is going on? I'm not doing this. All right, see you later. Keep it moving. Thank you. It was fun while it lasted. And are done with it very quickly, So it's just like it's very tricky. Because oftentimes we'll have more patience for our partners than our friends and our family. We'll be
True.
overly forgiving, right? To our friends and our family, and love is not enough to keep us and make us stay in situations. But damn, even family ain't even enough to make you continue to want to be there and communicate with your family. So, do we all have some underlying selfishness?
Yeah.
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 Like there's an underlying something, because if love is not even enough, right, to make you stay and work and get through some things, and family is not enough to make you be just as forgiving to them as you is, look at me, I was going ghetto, as you is to that man and that woman, then what is good enough for you? What's good enough for us? Because you guys, sometimes some people, think, love is somebody doing what you want them to do. Because when you think about it, the minute that we meet people and they don't do what we want them to do, we kick them to the curb. We keep it moving.
But again, that wasn't love in that situation.
You don't think it was
It
love?
wasn't, no. Not if you if somebody not doing something that you want them to do, that's not love. That's you just being selfish. That's not love. Because if you love somebody, you're gonna love people through a whole lot of situations.
Yeah.
Even with when it comes down to family, and I tell people this all the time. Like, I have a lot of addicts in my family, and I say this to everybody. Sometimes you just have to love them through their addiction. There's nothing else you
Yeah.
can give them. There's nothing else you can say, but just
Yeah.
love them through it.
Yes.
And then that sometimes that's just enough for them to know that I know I'm out here messing up, but so and so still loves me. They not completely giving up. They still got love for me.
But ultimately, too, who wants to be with somebody who feels like they're obligated or they owe you something? You know what I mean?
Right.
You want somebody. I don't know, okay, no, I don't know about you guys, but you let me know in the comments and say and give me 100 thumbs up. And if you're new here, share the show and subscribe to the channel. I wouldn't want someone to be my friend just because they feel like they're obligated because I did them a favor 15 years ago. I wouldn't want somebody to be with me just because they may feel like they're obligated, they owe me that. No, I would want you to be my friend and want to be in a relationship because that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? Not because you feel like there's a debt owed onto me that you owe me. You know what I mean? Because the minute that what you want comes along, you're gonna be gone on the first train smoking. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things too. Like, I don't know about y'all. Like, I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting. And that's why I said, don't let anybody trick you out your spot. Don't let the enemy get you tricked out your spot or anything like that. But there comes time where we gotta really sit and really reflect. And I can't stand when I do it because man, when I look at like when he has me looking at some of the decisions I made, it almost be like turn the camera off. I want to see it, Jesus. You know what I mean? Just where so it's like some of those choices I wouldn't make today, you know. But at the same time, it's just like I've been really looking like thinking like, well, how do you want your life to go? Where do you want to go? Where you want your life to go? Who do you want in it? How do you want to be connected to people? Do you want marriage? Do you not want marriage? Do you want more kids? Do you not want more kids? Do you want to just travel? Just all those things of what you want. And I know for me, it always seems as if that when he gets me to reflecting, he gets me to look at everything. And I think we have to ask ourselves those tough questions because I don't know. Like, is love enough? I believe, like you say, Andre, we got to process something. Oh, we got another caller. I got to process some things because I know at one point in time I felt like love was enough. Because it's like if we can, like you said, Andre, we can get through this, we can go through this, that, and the third. Yo, we could be through it all. But it does seem like it does get to a point. Now, I'm not saying love to the point where as though you sacrificing your damn self, but definitely. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
good. Hey, Andre.
Hey,
So what's your
Yeah,
thoughts
but
tonight? Sugar wooga dugga wooga.
I do think that it takes more. I think love, first of all, is the most important factor. It's the most important factor, but you do always hear people saying, like it takes more things to keep a relationship afloat, really. Like you could love
Okay.
a person all day, but if y'all start forgetting each other and that's the only thing floating around, that's why they say keep dating, keep doing other things. Other things does count, and keeping everything afloat. But I think love is the most important thing because if you don't have love, you have no relationship really or whatever.
So
But okay.
so
Well,
so if love, right? Because I'm gonna ask you this question since you won't hear. Hi, April. If love, if we say is love enough, right? And if
hmm
people often say love is the reason why they stayed and they didn't walk away, is love, can we really say that love is not enough? If that's the very same reason why we'll say we stayed. Now, like I said to Andre before you joined, let's take out the children, let's take out the house, let's take out the assets. Let's just really, look at that. Not what you happened, not what happened to you, not what happened to me, but let's just really look at it because if love is not enough, then why is love even a considering factor for why we say we stayed?
but I think that also has to do what people definition of love is because I think that
mm-hmm.
everybody don't have the same definition to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I think some things
Okay.
people consider love may not even really be love. That's why sometimes if people are in abusive relationships or they
Mm-hmm.
in relationships that mean them not well and they feel like they stand for love is because that's what they think the definition is at the time. You
So
know
it's
what I
like
mean? They
love is a
think the things
contingency
that they're
clause.
I mean,
Right.
like you be thinking that you stand for that and you think that's what it is, but you right don't even really have the real meaning of what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe you never saw it. Like maybe the things you saw you thought was love, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? But that's why you kept, like trying to convince your own self that that's what it was.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
think the definition of love can be different for different people. And some
Mm-hmm.
people might really do say, like, because they really love a person, and then they might not take all of the things that it take other people to keep something afloat. But I
But
know you
Okay.
another
do
thing.
hear all the time. Go ahead, Andre. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that another thing is that you can love somebody else but then you don't have enough love for yourself to leave. The love you have for that person is keeping you, but you don't even love yourself enough to know that you deserve better or you deserve not to be in that situation anymore. But the love you have for someone else is what's keeping you right there.
So that loving someone to the point of destruction? Is that what we could say,
Yeah,
that to
that
self
definitely,
destruction?
definitely. Because in
So
turn,
then
that
should
person
love
probably don't.
so then should love even be a factor for us to be in situations at all then? Like if we take love off the table and we take kids off the table and we take houses, I'm taking everything off the table. Like let's just think about someone that you dealt with or you were with or you may currently be with and you just like feel like, okay, this is it. Take all the other things off the table. Like, do you really love that person? The person.
Yes, you
Like,
can love the person.
like this is some stuff.
And
To
I
I
get what you're
don't know
saying
about
because
anybody else, but to me,
no, I get what you're saying because if
I'm over here with my wheels turning like,
no,
huh?
but you're taking everything off the table because, like you said, sometimes those factor in and people just love what somebody can do for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand why you saying take it off the table because I can love you because you pay my rent every month.
Exactly.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
yeah.
So that, like you said, you got to strip all of that away. And for some people, if you strip it away, is nothing left there
That
because it
part.
was nothing in the beginning. Sometimes it's just somebody's companionship. It's
Okay.
sometimes it's the way somebody treats you. Like the love can come and the love can go, but if there's other factors there, then you can get through the rough time.
Well, yeah, like you said, like if you lonely, if it's been a long time, because even that can happen too. Like I know I've got caught up into that too before. Like where you don't be bothered with people for so long, and you just be like, okay, you get caught up when you do get somebody because it's like, dang, sometimes we we go without, so we'll sacrifice some things or we'll try things out. But I remember this girl years upon years ago when I was trying to get away from my baby's daddy, yo, child. That's another story. She asked me, like, right? She said, do you love him? Right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, why? And I'm like, what you said. I was like, he do this, he did this. And she said, no, 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 no. I know what he do, but do you love him? And when she took all of that off, like different things, this was eons ago, it had me thinking like, dang. And she said, I didn't ask you, do you like what he can do for you? What you love that he can do for you? And then it was like, well, what do you love about him? And I was like, oh, he's considerate, he's done this, because you start to think about everything that happened, right? And
Right.
she said it again. I'm not asking about what he do. She said, okay, well, let's look at what we do know. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He's inconsiderate. He's disrespectful. And when she started running it down, not that she knew him, she just was listening to what the things that have occurred. And it's like, well, all this about him. And she said, he doesn't communicate. He blames this and he don't do this. So now tell me, what do you love about him? Child, that lady had me up in that store in that chair getting my damn feet done with a brain freeze. You hear me? I had to ponder on it. I didn't have an answer. I
But that's
didn't have
why I
an
say
answer.
sometimes you will convince yourself of things. Sometimes you will convince yourself of things. You will, like, because it's what you want. It's so many things sometimes that you will convince yourself of. You know what I mean? Like if it's a person you're around, you're used to them. You even sometimes get used to the bad behavior if bad behavior exists. But you
Mm-hmm.
will still be convincing yourself that all of this stuff, like You're blinded to all of that because you think you love this person, but do you really know what that means? Do
Yeah.
you like, and literally, I think some people who do know what it means, do they know what it means to be really loved? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because just
Mm-hmm.
because you put the love out there and you love a person don't mean it's really reciprocated either.
Yeah, there
You know
you
what I
go.
mean? So do
Yeah.
you really know what it is? Like, do you have you felt it before? Have you really seen it? Have you really, like, have you really experienced it?
And then sometimes too, what I think go into it, like you said, which what we make it be is like, are you living in the fantasy in your mind?
Right.
Because it looked like you and this person on two different chapters.
It
A
really be
love
like that
story.
though.
It be like that
Yeah.
because you don't. Sometimes you don't want to face the hard truth. So therefore, if I don't
Yes.
have to face the hard truth and I can keep making it seem like everything's so good, so good, so good, I really don't have to have that deep conversation. I know if I have that deep conversation, this thing is over. It's
Yes.
over.
And the crazy
But if
thing
I
is
keep
always
avoiding
floating
it,
in people's minds too.
yeah,
That horrible thing always floating around. Believe me, it didn't
mhm,
came in your mind one way or another. But whether you really acted on it or went with it or went against it is the question. Like, what did you do with it? You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah. So what about if you have a conversation or things like that? What do we think about when someone says um they may not share certain things or do certain things or tell you certain things because of how you may react or what they're going to assume you do? Is that a little is that misguiding and a little manipulative?
I need an example of what you're talking about with that. I don't understand.
I
So,
Like what you
okay,
mean?
so he was having this conversation. If someone says to you, "Oh, well, why you ain't tell me that?" and you say, "Well, I ain't tell you because you was gonna flip out, or you was gonna do this, and I ain't want to deal with that, or I ain't know how you was gonna react, or you was gonna start acting funny, or whatever it is," isn't that being a little misguiding and manipulative? Because you're withholding something from somebody, or you may not want to share certain things because it may not work out in your favor. Like you, like one of you gets, I don't know if it was you or Andre who just said, know you may do something or say something, and this is it. Ain't no coming back from it. We withhold
so
information from
yeah,
people for
right.
our own, like we talked about, selfish gain and benefit.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Because some people they're not going to be totally transparent. You see what I'm
Oh,
saying? So I see what you're saying. Like I'm holding back. It could be a fear I have, but I'm not telling you what my fear is.
all right.
So
So let's think
therefore,
about this. Like Obsessed. I think, have everybody seen Obsessed?
yes.
Now, this is a movie that's a little, me and my cousin used to go back and forth about it all the time and stuff like that. Um, when Beyonce asked Idris, did anything happen at the party? She wasn't inquiring, trying to be nosy because she thought he was doing something. She was asking, and he said no. And then when it came up that the white girl was crazy and doing all this stuff and saying, "Oh, we was dealing with each other," she was like, "What?" Remember, it took her a long time. It was hard for her to believe him. Sharon was her name, remember? And she said, "I asked you, did anything happen at that party?" And what did you say? What did you? He was like, "I said no, no." She said, "You said no." And she said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" He said, "Because I didn't want you to think or react a certain way or think that I wanted her or something." And she was like, "That doesn't matter because now look at where we are."
See, I think that's situational. I'm gonna be real honest with you because
Really?
I do. I'm gonna be honest with you because if
Okay.
I thought that something like could be to the detriment of us because of reaction, I'm gonna think about that first. You know what I mean? What if you had one of them crazy boyfriends or something that might go shoot up a place, and you know that if you tell him, okay, well, somebody bet their eye at me that he's showing up at the place. You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like,
Well,
I
let's
think
take. I
it's
mean, it could
I
go a thousand ways, but let's keep it
right.
like where we are. Yeah, we
I
know
see
we
what
ain't
I
going
see
Right,
what
but
nowhere.
I'm
Candace
saying
saying.
that's situational. You have a crazy girlfriend who's showing up at the job. You get fired because somebody at your job talking crazy when you know you ain't really feeding none of this. That's situational to me.
So
I'm definitely,
That
I don't
is
want to lose my
manipulative
job.
and misguiding as
Okay, well,
freak
I
to
guess that
me.
right,
is what it
I see
is.
what Candace's saying. So Candace basically saying like, if I come home from work and
Mm-hmm.
say I bump into a homegirl Shelly, and Shelly pressing up on me, and I don't go home and say nothing to Candace about this. So then when it comes out, and Shelly start running her mouth saying, "Oh yeah." First thing Candace gonna say is, "Why didn't you put me on D when it first happened?"
Mm-hmm.
So now it's looking like I'm being sneaky because I didn't come home and say
Right,
that's what happened. You see what I'm saying? I'm
right.
a straight like, look, this is I don't know what's up with your girl Shelly, but I saw her at the store and she was like real weird, like
Yeah.
So right,
Well,
so if I
Yeah.
don't say
Or it could
anything,
just be, you know, you went and you spent the bill money. And I'm like, hey, where's the rest for the thing? You telling me, oh, you gonna have it tomorrow, or you waiting for your check to clear, knowing you didn't already spent it.
it's down a
But
horseshoe
but right, you down the
and
horseshoe.
flat.
And then when I say, yo, why you ain't tell me
you
X,
said
Y, and
no.
Z,
Right.
your response is, man, because you was gonna overreact. Yeah. I feel like one of the worst things that we can do is assume, even if you may know, but you don't always know, because I feel like if that's the case, then that means that whoever you're with, you guys aren't growing. They aren't growing as an
Right.
individual, right? Because if I'm still reacting the same way I would at 19, 15, and 21, at this big grown age that I'm at 25, then that's a problem. You know what I
Right.
I
mean?
mean, that is somebody's story somewhere
Oh
at
no,
35 and
it
45. Like,
definitely is. It is. But tonight we're going to
absolutely
tonight we're just
somebody's
going to talk
story.
about the growth aspect and the maturing aspect of it.
Yes.
When
Okay.
you are being my baby daddy used to be famous for being deceitful by omission, deceit by omission, going to give you just enough, but leave out some huge details, right?
Right.
So it's like when we look at that, the question, it is misguiding and or could be seen as manipulative, because you're withholding something or not saying something because you want something to go in your favor, like Andre said not too long ago. Because even if we in it, right, whether it's to death do us part or until somebody else come along, we shouldn't even want other people to come to our people and tell them something that we could have told them. Because you ever play the game telephone, whisper in the ear at the party, by the time the message get back, it ain't even what was said.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
just
just hope that you start being with a person that is honest, and I hope that you are too. So if somebody
yeah,
coming to you as a grown adult, you definitely know how to get on the defensive about what they talking about, and you could check anybody that is out of
okay.
pocket. You get what I'm
But
saying? So I feel like as long as you checking the person, then what we blowing up drama for? You know what I mean? It depends. Like I said, it's situational to me. You know what I mean? Now,
Okay.
if we all mature in this situation, then it's easy to come say, well, this, and this happened. But if you were the person that's going to bring the drama, it depends on how bad you know this drama could get to me.
And so for me, right, I look at it even with my kids or anybody when they be like, oh, why I ain't tell you because I didn't want to get punished. It's like, don't take my choice from me.
Okay.
You don't know how I'm going to react or if there even will be a reaction. Mother freaker, enlighten me.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, if you showed me a reaction 98 times out of 100, do I assume on 99 that you're not going to react?
Now there's a whole nother thing to that, because if I seen your reaction, I know you're gonna go pew pew the whole club, then I don't need to be putting myself in positions for you to go pew pew the whole club. You know what? I was just having this conversation in a different manner when I went out this weekend, and it was involving the justice system and how, the system is, people, some feel like it is, some people feel like it's not. It's rigged against people of color, right? You know that you can't go do the same crime a white man do and get away with it, right? The white
Right.
man may get all the way with it, and you got years. So we were discussing this, and it was like, but when do we get to the point of, I know this is rigged. I ain't even about to put myself in no predicament that had to be judged by these people. And my sister friend, she said, okay, so that's the accountability portion. Yes, accountability. If I know that you may react crazy or whatever I may tell you, Shemanda, that may make you be like, it's going to determine whether you're gonna rock with me or not. I'm gonna do my damnedest to not even put myself in a situation to where as though I may have to come to you and have to tell you something that's going to determine if you're going to rock with me or not. What I would do is have a conversation with you, but I think that that's one of the issues we as couples, because we just get into stuff with anybody, right? That we should be able to able to have the uncomfortable conversations with the people we commit to.
Yeah.
So whether your reaction is crazy or not, and it's uncomfortable, and it may be hard for you to say. I've had some situations where it was hard for me to say some things that I had to say, but it was like, you gotta say it and let the chips fall where they may, because like Andre said earlier, how we going to get through it and see if even love is even a factor if you are already assuming my reaction?
Well, I don't. I just look at that differently. I'm gonna be honest with you, because and this the devil's advocate part, because it's a lot of people out here that will react. They
yeah. I think we might have lost her. Your sound. I'm not sure if your sound went away, but we can't hear you any longer. But
me.
you had stopped. You went in and out.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, now what I was saying, a lot of times in relationships, usually it is like several things that has compiled before people really start reacting, and that's in a lot of relationships. Not This is not new. This is a lot of times relationships, things have happened where reactions are now taking place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, if you do react several times like in a row to show me that this could bring us like more loss, because hopefully, I mean, like you saying, you are correct, we do need to be in stuff where we can communicate. We do, we do, but a loss of communication happens in a lot of relationships. It really does. The communication just gets bad, and I don't care what is coming from. Some things happen that make communication bad sometimes in relationships. Now, I only feel like I said that it's situational. I'm not saying that I wouldn't tell somebody every time. Now, if we are mature, it's not a reason I shouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff ain't going to happen. Now, if you got the crazy baby mama or the wife or whatever, and she throwing everything to the wind, and we all could lose, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about that. I'm going to be very honest with you. I would. Because first of all, I'm not trying to lose everything. You know what I mean? I am a grown adult. You know what I mean? I got bills. I got all of this. I'm going to think about all of these things if I know that, I have a reactive boyfriend or something. I got to have a reactive husband. I might even be the reactive one. You get what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you do have to think about that, because what is going to happen if I know that you're ready to go do something and that might be to the detriment of all of us? I ain't thinking about no chips falling. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm not. If I thought my mother would go out here and act crazy and go to jail or something, no, sir. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna come at that in a whole different direction. You know what I mean? And some stuff you might can't avoid. When you saying avoid, If you go to a party, somebody say something to you incorrectly, that could go a whole nother way. You ain't think you going to this party, somebody was gonna come say something.
Now
You could be going to one of your friends' parties.
I'm going to play devil's advocate
Please
because,
come to.
but no, because of I know that there has been things in time that have occurred, or just over the years, and like my mother and them, they always be like, "Don't tell Candace, don't tell." Like I am the they don't tell me stuff person, right? And
You the
I
high
even hate
head.
when
The
that
high
happens.
head.
Huh?
I said you the high head, ain't you?
Girl, yeah. But I even hate when that's happened because it's like don't assume that I'm gonna go off. Like I just don't like anybody to
Right.
make a perceived notion about me. You
I
know,
got it.
just because I continue to put the work in, right?
Right.
And I remember when something occurred, I can't remember, but and they brought it to me, and I was like, oh, well, child, such. So they was like, and I was like, oh, I was like, all right, well, what we about to do with such and such? And it was like, well, did you tell her? And it was like, yeah, I told her. What she say? She act like I ain't even tell her. Oh, girl, I ain't tell you because I thought you was gonna go off. Girl, stop thinking. I ain't worrying about that crap. I'm trying to get over here and do that. So it's just like at one point we it gets to a point where we have to trust
And this
Mm-hmm.
is true. This
a
is
little
true.
bit.
But
You know
I
what I
do
mean?
think that the
We
show and
gotta
tell part
trust.
had to work a little bit first, though.
Yeah, like you ever had somebody say, I know I was going to tell you, I didn't know how to tell you this, and it was then you tell them, and you created more anxiety worrying about what their reaction was going to be, and you told them, and it wasn't even that. It was like, oh,
Right.
okay, you know what I mean? It was like, dang, I didn't know how you was going to take it, girl. I ain't worrying about that. Da, 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 da. But if you want me to react, I will. But so I think that we have to do that. I think a lot of the times when things, some of the issues in relationships as well is like we take people's choices from them. We automatically assume how they're going to react, even if we know the reaction. But I feel like even if you know the reaction too, right? Are you paying attention to your partner? Because if you're paying attention to your partner, the individual growth, you should be able to say, yo, I think, well, why you tell me that? Oh, I told you because I felt like you had matured a little more and was going to take it that way. Wasn't going to take it no way. That's why I told you that, I just think that whenever you do anything with that is misleading to someone else, you are being manipulative. You have your own hidden, let's say there's a hidden agenda.
True.
It's a hidden agenda because
Well, why do you think it's a hidden agenda though? Do y'all think that it's a hidden agenda in every
it has to be a reason,
situation?
because if it's something that you know that may bother me or whatever, why wouldn't you tell me? If or if
Because I
or if,
don't want the
or if somebody
reaction.
asks you a question, why wouldn't you want to be honest with the answer? You get what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I'm definitely not saying to lie, but I don't think it would be an agenda for some things because what are you accomplishing by not? I think,
You are
like,
accomplishing the thing going your way. Some people may be
Right.
accomplishing she ain't going through with the divorce. Some people may be accomplishing he's staying. Some people may be accomplishing, oh, he gonna pay the bills or she gonna cook this month. Or so, it's a lot of it, like I said, it could be also a lot of moving parts in those things. But think about it, even when you was a kid and even when you was growing up, or even when you was in school and stuff, if you did something mischievous and your mother asked you, did you do something? No, you ain't cracked the vase. You know damn well you cracked the vase. You act like you ain't know how it happened or who ate the last soda, or you don't know, you playing the fool. Because why? It ain't because you whatever want to not communicate. It's because you know damn well she told you don't touch her last Pepsi. So
I,
you
I,
So
do- I, do
so
feel,
you
I feel like that's
lying,
what
or
you're
you
saying.
hiding it, or you're keeping something from it, or you only giving admission to a little bit of it because there's a benefit for you in it somewhere.
But what's the benefit? I mean, the benefit
Only
could
the
be for it not to
only
be
the
explosive.
keeper, look, only the keeper of the secret knows what the benefit is. Now you look, Andre, I'm about to hit her with Cat Williams hit Shay Shay with. I don't know why liars lie. They just do it.
If
So
you
the
listen, if you wanted them, just admit. All right, let me give y'all an example. Then, if you are a female who has a boyfriend who beats you all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, like you might have kept this away from your family. You stay home, so they ain't see the stuff you was really going through, right?
mm,
And you know, if you went and told your brother that this dude is putting his hands on you, that your brother gonna come through. Now, if
but
your
that
brother
would be the
is
reason why
known,
you didn't tell him though, because you know your brother going to tear him up. So you
that
wouldn't
would be
tell.
a reason why what?
I said, but that would be the reason because you know your brother
Okay,
going to
but
tear
what
him
if you
up.
know that you're not ready to leave the dude though? Because this happens a lot. What if you know you're not ready to leave this guy?
That too. So there's a benefit for you in it. It's a benefit. There's a benefit for any and everything that people do when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to wanting to be deceitful or withholding information.
Well, I wouldn't see what a female gonna get out of not telling the brother. I don't see the benefit.
Because
Because
I
out of
the
don't.
not telling him,
relationship gonna be over, and she's not ready to end the relationship.
or he might beat her up one last time and unalive her this
I'm
time.
not ready to leave so I can't say nothing because I'm not ready to leave.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
gotta be,
Okay,
you
but
know.
they're
So I'm
already in
fine.
it and they're there. But I just think that the person not really going to confide in the brother is because they trying to avoid the brother getting in any type of anything, any
They, you
trouble.
know, they
Um,
avoiding when they know what's gonna happen. The relationship gonna be
right,
over,
Yes, they
and
are
that's
right.
what,
avoiding that
and they don't want that to happen.
because I know if my brother come over here and he beats you up,
That's
I
it.
gotta
Yeah.
leave you alone. And
Oh,
all the time,
y'all don't think people go back 2 million times even after the fight?
no, what I'm saying is they do, but there are some situations and some things where it's like, oh, you know that this person or this thing means business.
Right.
And
And
you gotta remember, everybody don't be like, and when I say us, I'm not talking about you guys or even, but in general, everybody don't be no punk asses not standing on their boundaries in their nose. Some
mm-hmm.
people, are staying firm on their nose. You knew better. You knew you shouldn't have did it. Period. That's it.
Wow. Well, y'all,
That's
I
all.
guess I don't know, but I guess I might have to look at it from your point of view, far as it being a benefit. I really don't see that really
Yeah,
or
because
whatever. But
the benefit is whatever the benefit is whatever you disclosing this information
Right.
would cause.
Right. Because also, if I'm the same way, if she's benefiting from him paying the rent every month, if she go run her mouth, he gone. He gone. He gonna be mad and he mad because my brother done be getting at it. So now she not benefiting from what he was doing.
see, I
She
get
might be
stuff like
counterparty
that.
what he's doing,
I
but
get that
she's
kind of
benefiting some
benefit.
way somehow.
I do get that kind of benefit.
So she's
If
not
you
gonna
But
know
say
some,
your
anything.
wife,
some stuff,
if you know
some
your
stuff I
wife,
don't think is beneficial though. I
if you
don't.
know
Like,
your wife told you you ain't had no hind parts in a minute, and she told you, oh, the night you gonna get it, I'm gonna give you some or whatever, because you took care of something that she asked you to take care of. You know damn well you done lost the lottery ticket or something, right? And this lottery ticket that you had, y'all just won 5,000. You lost it. She may be so overly aroused that when you walk in, she giving it to you. You ain't even gonna tell her that you lost this lottery ticket. You gonna come up with any way, So I mean, it's just like there's always a benefit for somebody not telling you something. If
Right.
you so it's like if someone tells you they don't tell you things or they didn't want to say this to you because they knew how you was gonna react. Like I said, that's you assuming something about me, taking my choice away from me, and you don't want to deal with the consequences or the chain reaction of whatever it is that you kept
Right.
away.
now that part I agree with. I might not want to deal with the reaction of what I'm bringing. I
Right.
might not want
So
to deal with that. That would, I guess, be the loss of the benefit or something because I don't
yeah,
really know. I don't know
that would
what I'm
be
benefiting from
that
not
would be the
saying
that
it.
would be
Like,
the misguiding, that would be the manipulative part. That would be
I
the
don't even say it as manipulation. Maybe misguided, but manipulation. How
okay.
am I manipulating someone?
Easy.
Because
You
it's
over there
not
like a
intentional. Like
situation.
something happened, it might not
I
even
think
be
it's being
intentional, but
manipulative. I think
ah,
it could be. I think it could be a little bit being manipulative if you know something is supposed to happen, and you might be withholding information. That's being manipulative because you're bending the outcome of
Mm-hmm.
something. That's
okay.
manipulative. You're bending. That's a part of it. You're bending the outcome to something because you don't want to say what it is because of how someone may react.
Or you already know how it's going to end. And again, we trying to avoid what I said earlier. We trying to
Yeah,
avoid having that hard conversation that's
right.
going to really take it there.
Or you don't want to even take the responsibility for the feelings for what's going to
Right.
cause or the pain or whatever the anger or whatever you may flick upon the person that you kept it from.
Okay.
This was good. This we went. I like these little picker, thicker, 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 thicker. What are you guys in the audience thinking? Oh, so Benita said, she says, I know from experience, I haven't told my brother about my last relationship because he will go to jail and I don't want that.
And
See?
see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, even though I do understand what y'all saying, as if she's gaining something, but what is she gaining? You get what I'm saying? Because I mean, all of it hurtful for one, but
Mhm.
she don't wanna. She's trying to avoid something going wrong with her brother. You get what I'm saying? She's trying to avoid that, and I can't
Let's
be
ask
mad
some
that
more of the
she's
people in the
trying to
chat.
avoid it.
Hey
I
CJ, hey
get mad
Marsha.
that she's
Let's
avoiding it because why? Like, especially sometimes when people don't leave situations.
Yeah. Hey, you guys.
Sometimes you might
Okay,
not
we see
even
you
be
guys that just tuned in tonight. Let's just recap of the question. One of the questions for the night before we go. You guys can leave it. Give your response. You can hit the link. You know. And what did we say? Oh, if someone says that they don't want to share or they don't tell you certain things because of how you may react, is that them being misguiding you or
manipulated.
manipulative as well? Shit, it's both. If you ask me, we the people, want to know. And like I said, I think that is what it all goes down to. We have to start having these uncomfortable
Hard
conversations.
conversation. The hard
Right, but
conversation.
and another thing I want to add in there too, because I know you said something about growth. Now, if growth is definitely happening in certain situations, then the conversation shouldn't even be that hard. That's how
Yeah.
I feel. But sometimes, when people don't have growth, it's hard talking to people with no growth.
Oh my
It
God. Yes,
is.
it is. Oh my
It
God.
is. So that's
Marsha
what I'm
said.
saying.
Marsha said it's both.
Right. Okay. It's both manipulative and what
Yeah.
was that word?
Manipulative and misguiding. CJ said
Okay.
it's misguiding and manipulative, maybe with good intentions, but still makes it questionable. This is what I'm saying. Misguided and good intentions and manipulative don't even go together. You see the bull crap we do?
But I do think it's situational. Like I feel situational. Like I said from the beginning, I feel like it depends on what the situation is of why you're doing it.
I
That's
think we
that's
have
what
to
I feel
start
like.
just being self-aware, and we have to and have to start really being able to hold yourself accountable and deal with what comes with whatever you're doing. Because if
That
there
part.
is something, if there's any reaction of whatever the reaction may be with what you're doing, then 9 times out of 10, you shouldn't even be doing it. And I think the other thing that we don't look at some of the times is, what if that other person was doing that crap to you? How would you feel? Oh, look, Marcia said what I said all night. She said, selfish intentions, not good ones.
Right.
Okay,
Okay, so
so
let me.
CJ,
I
she
got
said,
I got a
look,
question.
Marsha came through, told CJ, Yeah, I wasn't feeling that either, Marsha. I wouldn't
I
take
got,
that.
I got a question. I got a question then. So,
Oh, she got
Bonita,
a question. Carla has a question for you, Marsha, girl. Got a question.
listen, what Bonita just explained, she didn't tell her brother because she don't want him in jail, right? Is
Okay.
she wrong for not telling her brother in your mind? Like, is she's wrong for not telling her brother that whatever her explanation is? Is she wrong?
I don't think she's probably telling her brother anything. First of all, I feel like you're wrong when someone asks you. Now, and this is when someone comes to you and you withhold. Because her brother, like you said, in these other things, may not know about the situation and it may not know that degree, right? Now, you're wrong if you tell them and then you be like, oh, don't hurt them.
Right.
It's like, well, what you tell them for, right? But I don't think that specifically is would be someone deemed as being manipulative and
Right.
misguiding.
Well, why
Like
that's not. That's why I said it's situational.
if you don't know, no, because it's like if you don't know that me and my man is over here thugging it out like Ike and Tina, hi cat. If you don't know this, I'm not lying to you or misguiding you and being manipulative toward about something that you do not know. Now, if you come to me and you say, yo, what's up with y'all? Do y'all be putting his hands on you? Do y'all be fighting? And I be like, why you ask that? Because that's usually what we do. Oh, no, don't lie to me. Yo, then there's more details that's going to come. Well, yo, don't lie to me. Well, why you ain't tell me? Because what's the defense going to be? Because I don't want you to hurt him. I don't want you to fight him. So, I don't want you to go to jail. But sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not promoting anything, you guys, but I'm just saying, even I definitely understand somebody keeping that away. But then there's the other factor of it too is, yo, you do have people that care about you.
I
Sometimes you
get that,
telling
but if you
somebody,
have a
sometimes you
crazy
telling somebody
person,
can lead to other things. Hey, I might not gotta put my hands on them, but I could at least tell them and let them know because guess what? That mother freaking might go upside your head next time and you ain't gonna wake up. At least we know
this
who to
is
tell. We
all
gonna at least
true
get
what
it.
you're saying. This is all true. I'm not going against nothing you saying, but sometimes you will have a family member or a boyfriend or girlfriend that's that crazy that you already know that they're going to react. You already know it, like you know it. That's why I'm not talking a person that's matured or we step in this because there's a lot of people out here that got not mature people,
Absolutely, you ain't
okay?
lying about
And
that,
they're
child.
going to react. They're going to react. So, do you tell them, knowing 95% of the time they're going to react? Do you think because you're at 96 that it's a change?
Well, you know
Do you
what?
think that?
I can only
I'm
speak for
being
myself.
honest. Like, I keep bringing it back to y'all
Yeah.
that same way.
No, definitely. And I only can be like I can honestly say that um there's no beep beep to myself, but you know what I'm saying. I've had to have and share some things with people that maybe I was in relationships with that were extremely hard. That was
Right.
extremely not just hard for that person, but even hard with myself. Like, what the freak, right? Sometimes
Mhm.
my delivery was not always wasn't always the best, but shit, I was broken myself, ain't nothing but a healing. But I am that person, and like we talk a couple months over the shows and stuff that sometimes you could be loyal to we could be loyal to a fault. I am
Yeah.
that person where it might be the motherfucking side effects of dealing with somebody for so long that wasn't right to where as though it's like, yo, I have to be as honest as I can
Right.
because it's going to eat me up. Because if I'm able to be fully vulnerable and open and honest with you, of course I'm going to want it to be reciprocated. Usually
Right.
I'm more realer than the people I deal with. I can honestly say that. I'm more
Right.
honest. But the thing that I've learned too, when with some people when they've talked to me, they were like, yo, I really didn't think that you were going to be okay with this, or I didn't really think that you were not going to react to this, and this is why this happened, or why I didn't say this. And I'm like, that's not cool. Because if I'm with you, I'm with you, and I ain't gonna be no fool. But if I'm with you, I feel like, yo, like we to the topic tonight was, is love enough in a relationship? I feel like love can conquer anything. And I'm not talking about like the intimacy side of love. I'm talking about the understanding, the compassionate, the listening, the selflessness, the being there. You know, I feel like we should begin to try to resolve our issues in other manners. You know, your solution with you and your wife or your girlfriend, y'all not getting along. The solution is not in fucking Bridget. The solution is not in Dante. It's not. So it's like, especially if it's somewhere you want to be, why not be able to? I want to be able to come to you and know that if anybody wanted to come, like what Andre was saying earlier, and be like, yo, I saw your dude up such and such, what he was doing. Boop, boop, hey, such and such said, you know, or not even said, because you ain't never supposed to tell on your resources now. Hey, were you such and such, such and such? Yeah, I was there, you know, just that and the third. Somebody try to talk to you. Yeah, man, I was going to tell you that, you know, X, Y, and Z. It does something different in the relationship. And
It does.
it really does. And I feel like it adds more layers of I don't want to say security, but that's really what it is. It's like, yo, I don't have English. I'm not saying people don't keep secrets, right? But it does something. Like I remember the shit wasn't always bad with me and my daughter's dad over those years, right? But there was a point in time where how we had dealt with each other, his friends would be around. Like I remember we went to the strip club or something, and he was like, "Who's that?" He was like, "Oh, that's my baby mama." You know, I should have knew something was wrong then with the way the nigga said it, but you know what I'm saying? That's another story. Ignoring the red flags. They look like Six Flags when you high now. Okay. And he was like, that's your baby mama. She ain't here. This. Or I would see a girl and I'd be like, damn, she fat as a mug. You know, I'd be like, look at her. He'd be like, yeah, the only problem is he was a goddamn compulsive cheater. You know? So it's like certain ways and certain things you can't be with a certain type of individual. You know your man already got a problem with keeping his weeder to himself. Why are you giving him a threesome? Why are you even enticing him to do things like that? Right. So it's one of those things where they would be like, yo, your baby mother cool. Like my baby mother would have flipped out me in here with these strippers smacking on their ass. He was like, no, she ain't like that. Because my thing is this. If I know we good, what you doing outside of us is not really going to bother me. If I know that you're going to tell me if I ask you. You got people out here who can go have kids with people. Y'all done been homeless together. Y'all done been at rock bottom together. Y'all probably got high together. You mean to tell me we can overcome all of these other difficulties of life, but you don't want to fucking tell me about this because you scared of a reaction? What? It makes no sense to me.
But again, the reason why they got through the situation because they had that hard conversation that needed to be had so they can move past what was going on. You got to bring it to the forefront and have that conversation.
I had somebody tell me one time, right? And I was just talking to them. It wasn't even nobody I dealt with, right? And this was when I was a copper robber. And they was like, when he was telling us something, he was like, yeah, because my wife such. I was like, okay. I was like, well, you get it. He said, you're a little too understanding. A man told me that. I'm like, what? He was like, he's like, because I don't know, I don't know nobody that would try to understand this or whatever. And it wasn't even a bad thing that we were discussing. But I was like, I don't really think there's a such thing as being too understanding, you know. But I'm like, no, because life happens. Like I know we are not perfect. We aren't perfect. But I always say it too. When people say, oh, I didn't mean to hurt you, or I don't want to hurt you. And then there are things like we talked about going on that you don't know about. It's like, well, you're not trying to hurt me either. Or I didn't do it intentionally. Well, you're not unintentionally doing it either. Because being deceitful and keeping things, if you know that there's going to be a reaction, or not even just really a reaction, because guess what? The reaction could be, now we got something to talk about and we're going to be talking about it for a week. The reactions ain't always a bad reaction. And anything, challenges in life, just with the stages of what we go through, right? In life, things happens to challenge and grow and mature us.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how many people, women you've been with, or how many guys you've been with that said to you, yo, you made me grow up. Or my such and such, she made me do this. She made me
Mm-hmm.
realize how I'm supposed to treat a woman. She ain't with me now. I can't get her back. But because of that situation with him or that situation with her, I now moved better. You now I don't withhold nothing. So I think sometimes a lot of people are afraid to deal with to face the consequences of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. When you
Yeah.
don't want to face the consequences to what you're doing, that's when you become the misguiding, the misleading, deceit by omission. CJ
But
said
why is
sometimes
it always
CJ
see
said
y'all?
some
Y'all I swear
CJ
to God.
said CJ said sometimes people don't want to give too much info because they don't want to see you hurt, like what Benita said. CJ also said if Benita told her brother the entire truth, her brother would be out of here. She withheld info with good intentions. Marsha said it depends on how long it was going on. We're talking about domestics. She also said the question should be why you didn't leave. And then she says, I mean, is Dante cute and have some money? Because I want to see some.
But
and,
I'm just
then,
saying, in
and then
reality,
CJ
we
said, which
all
one of y'all snoring on the phone?
uh but
That's
listen,
why I call
I
us
really
fat. Call us fat without calling us fat.
but I do think that it's situational because I mean different folks, different strokes for different folks. Seriously, because people are in different stages of their lives. Everybody you're not going to catch at the stage where they at the point where they talking and discussing everything. They could be in the middle of it at the beginning of it when everything kicking off. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And in
That's true.
reality, we do know that people react sometimes. They do. You know what I mean? And like a Benita, I would never blame Benita for not telling her brother. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't
Yeah.
saying Benita would be right if she was in an abusive relationship, but sometimes you gotta come to that consensus on your own because can't nobody tell you nothing. A lot of times when you
Marsha
if you
said,
in stuff that you have no business being in, you already know this yourself, first of all.
Marsha
Secondly,
said,
people what?
there are exceptions to everything. Whoo, that exception word. Girl, what do you look? We gotta get her before we go. You got to define expectations.
Exceptions.
Yes, did you mean did you mean right? Did you mean an interception? Shoot. We got to define exceptions.
Oh my goodness.
Because baby, that exceptions to the rules is blasphemy.
That is blasphemy. I cannot.
These exceptions to these rules got some of us around here fucked up.
It did though. But
It
that's the
does.
thing though. Ain't we be messed up until we get it right sometimes, right?
Down here feel like Anthony Hamilton. I feel like I'm in a blender. I'm shaking and I'm stirred. Because I chose to make you the exception. Lord, girl, that was I think that triggered me. She just triggered me. She
Listen,
said,
I get it though. I get it.
she said there are always situations where it may not fit in a box we want it, especially when it comes to abuse. Okay. Okay, so withholding being abused is one of those exceptions. Okay. Okay.
I just feel like things are situational though. I think, not that it make it right, but I do have an understanding why, some things, people not gonna rush to do for certain
I
stuff.
think
Like
if it, I think if it may
I
not
get it.
well, I don't know because I can't even say that. I think if it may not end in with someone being, harmed,
Or something like that, right?
yeah, but I just feel like, yo, at the end of the day, it did not even that because people, we all deal with different things. But I feel like we're all, and thank you guys for tuning in tonight. But we're all here. We're wise enough to know y'all are on this platform. I love y'all. Y'all love me. So I'm going to assume y'all got some damn sense. And we all know what we're talking about pertaining to this. Okay? You not talking about where you at, what you doing. What we got? You got the niggas that got they fall asleep syndrome. They always sleep. Things like that. You wasn't sleep, or you was in a company meeting on a Saturday, in the company ain't had no meeting, and just different things like that. Or you spent the bill money, or you didn't do this, or what you were supposed to do, or you didn't come pick the kids up. Like, don't lie about it. Like, we all know what being misguided and being manipulative when it comes to you withholding information from somebody that you love. If I can't unalive you and you can't unalive me, why
Right.
are you not telling me? I'm not going to kill you because I love you.
Right.
I'm not going to do something crazy to you, for one, because I love myself. I'm not going to do anything drastic, though. Yo, I feel like a lot of the times we look at it and we forget we are grown adults and women. And of course, some of us are just a grown number. That don't mean mentally we're there. But we have to start being accountable for the things that we do, because of the simple fact, yo, you're not going to get punished. Are you going to get a beating? You will get suspended from school? Because why are you 40, 50, 30 something years old and you still run around here lying? Like, you're going to get in trouble.
Right.
That's my whole thought with a lot of this stuff. You love me, but you lie to me, which really gives more. You love yourself more because you lying to me.
So where did y'all get this line part from now? Because y'all adding things. Like, I thought a person just
Did
didn't
someone
tell you
because the
something. So
question
the lie, it's a
the
lie
question
by omission.
yeah,
Like, I
because
don't know. Like,
the question was, if someone says that they don't tell you something because of how you may react, is it misguiding and manipulative? That means that there's something you're withholding. If you ask the question, you may lie about it. It's whatever you
Right.
withholding, God damn it. I
Right.
don't know. So it's like that's something there. Usually somebody, oh look, we got another caller. Usually somebody is asking you something and you lying about it, or you being misguided about it.
Yeah.
see, I didn't even
And
think that's where we
Marsha
started
said
off at.
love and benefit are two different things.
Okay.
Okay,
Love
explain
and
that, girl.
benefit.
Come through. She go, I don't know. Look, she coming through right when we about to get off here. She coming through with the come through. Hey, how you doing tonight?
What's up, y'all?
No, what you're
Hey.
not gonna do is come in here with that dry energy.
Hey, man, it's been a long day. You heard me.
Hey,
Listen,
CJ.
What's up,
oh
Tremanda?
man.
What's up?
What's up, Drake? Man, it's been a long day. But anyway, all right, now I get what you were saying a couple minutes ago as far as separating the whole abuse thing with, you know, the other, whether you withholding something because you don't want to get found out about, or you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or whatever. My thing is just being a person who does things as honest as possible from the jump, so that if it ever comes up, anything ever comes up, you wouldn't have a problem with letting them know what the situation is, because you've done everything truthfully through and through. So it wouldn't be nothing to try to hold back. That's my
Right.
thing. I
Okay, you
don't
mean
have
Okay.
a
because you
problem
later.
with letting somebody know. They ask me a question. Oh yeah, so yeah, I seen you with old homegirl. Who was that? Like, what was that all about? Oh no, that was Shorty from back. This, that, and the third. We was over there talking about this, that, and the third. And that, because that's exactly what happened. Not know, oh, that's really somebody that I used to this, that. But I'm holding it from you because I don't want you to react. And if it was somebody that I used to do something, I'm gonna let you know that. The only reason that it might not have came up beforehand is because it probably just never came up. Of course, you don't know the person, and that person is not at the top of my head where I just gotta randomly pick her out the sky and say, "Oh yeah, I used to mess with such and such," even though you don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, I think we leave too many things open on the table left for assumption.
Right.
Because
and that's where the
I ain't gonna
problem
lie.
comes in.
I ask you something, you don't answer me. You leave it up to me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm glad you just said that because I tell people that all the time. I even tell my kids that don't give me the right to choose what I want to choose as far as thinking what I want to think, because I'm going to think what I want to think to the highest level. If I ask you something, tell me exactly what it is, because if you don't, you give me plenty of opportunity to think whatever I want to think, and I'm taking it and I'm running with it. Don't give me that opportunity. I tell everybody that. Don't give me the opportunity to think what I want to think.
True.
See, I didn't even know that y'all were saying that y'all asking a person a question, because this ain't where that started off at. Because I thought that y'all was saying, if you wasn't a person that came home and told, or told whoever about something happening, and then they hear it from somebody else without you ever saying it. That's what I thought we was talking about. Like, that's still almost like you hiding or misguiding or lying.
But even that too.
You know what I mean? Like,
that is what we're
right, but
talking
y'all
about.
didn't start off saying somebody like asked you a question.
No,
Like, that wasn't a part of it.
everybody is saying answering it their way. So it says it said when someone says I don't share certain things with you because of
Because they don't want the
your
reaction.
reaction, is that being misguiding or manipulative?
Yeah, I don't
And
like
like I
that.
said,
I don't like that.
So
I just
that
think it's
means if you talking to
situational.
somebody and they say, I don't tell you stuff because of how you gonna react, it's like, wait, so what you got to tell
Yeah,
me?
well,
What
yeah,
you
what
want me
we
to
talking
know?
about? Yeah, what you mean? I don't like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, with that, it is when we're talking about the question and when all of us are giving our response, our thoughts to the question, we're using it as if we ask somebody the question. You're not looking at it that way. You're looking at it from the whole, well, why would somebody do that? And it's like, well, there has to be something there, a question, conversation, or something there for this to even be a factor in the first place. Because
Right.
if you're not asking anybody anything, or nobody's asking you anything, then you being manipulative and misguiding is off the table because there's no conversations. But if
Right, but it's
someone
but it's still. I thought y'all was meaning like if you just say you was at a club with somebody and you got in an argument with somebody that you and your girlfriend or your boyfriend know, and your girlfriend and your boyfriend not there or whatever. Say you really like got on a person or got in them for whatever it was that this whole thing took place for, and you might not have went home and told your partner, wife, girlfriend,
that
whoever
works
about
in
the
that as well.
situation, right?
Right.
Like, because you already knew that they was going to pop up there and cause a whole distraction. Say it
But
was your
then think of
job,
that.
anything.
Yeah,
Right.
that
But
Now,
goes
then,
with that too.
Oh,
Right.
I don't think that's misguided because it
no,
ain't.
it's
but
Yeah,
that's
because
that's my
it
whole
ain't.
point. That happens a lot, but I wouldn't think they misguiding or
Yeah,
lying or being
yeah.
deceitful.
It just
I
but
don't
ain't
the
really
come up.
think
thing
that's
is,
deceitful. I think maybe like you definitely not you omitting information and didn't tell them. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying, if you thought that they was going to come there and be going to jail today, you know what I mean? Because they react and they react, then
yeah.
I don't really see that as
but
manipulation.
right. But
Right.
how do you think I would
I
feel if
don't.
somebody come
It's
back?
still misguided. That might be
Right.
just
Now it
misguided.
might be a little misguided, but I don't see
Yeah,
it
but
as
that might not be. But
manipulation, and I don't
that
see
may
what
not
they winning.
manipulative may not be for that, but it still poses and falls underneath of the whole question because something is being withheld. I definitely get it. You know, you don't tell nobody because you ain't want them to do whatever they did. But the thing of the matter is, yeah, because it could have been like, girl, I ain't tell you about that stuff because I don't even. He may or she may not even go to that club that often. That may have been a
But
one-time thing. So it was like,
but say
I'm not
say
gonna
if
waste
it,
my time telling you that.
You know
But let's
what?
say you walk in that house and you got a black eye, or you ain't got no call, you didn't got robbed. You gonna be like, why you ain't call me? Oh, because I didn't want you to come air it out. Well, it look like you got aired out.
You know what?
not
I think I get where you coming from, Tremanda, because it's like at the same time is the person might not feel like is a thing to bring up, but at the same time it's like,
Right.
why wouldn't you if you know that this is something that could how should I put this?
Had a
Well,
different outcome.
yeah,
Right, but
especially if you
his
talk
actions. That's
about
what I'm
not
saying.
especially if you talk about a mutual person, like this is a person that we both know, and I just got
No,
into it with
right.
Shorty, and I don't never bring it up, even though it's not manipulative or misguided because it never came up. But at the same time, what if a situation come where there's an energy shift with me and the person you linked on, and I don't know what happened because a
exact.
situation
There you
happened and
go.
you
Yeah,
ain't tell me.
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about. The same
So
way
okay,
if
yeah,
I'm in the club, if
okay.
I'm in the club and I see the argument, and I go back and tell my homeboy like, yeah, I seen Keisha in the club arguing with Terrence, and you never told him why you arguing with Terrence, and now he see Terrence and he don't know what that because you didn't come back and put him on D or what went on up in the club. That's
And
what I'm
when
talking
he's
about. You
speaking to
gotta come back
Terrence,
and tell
Terrence
something.
looking at him like he crazy.
And
Right.
that brings me back to what Marcel was saying as far as the exceptions, because it's like
Not Marcia.
I said our name wrong.
That ain't Marsha. He said,
Marsha, my bad, shorty.
no, you
I ain't
good.
know it looked like it spelled Marcel, my bad,
Yeah,
Marsha.
for real. No, it is.
But what she was saying as far as like the exceptions, like cause your intent is to well, you presuming that the situation might go a certain way if I bring this situation up to you. So I call myself trying to protect you.
Yeah.
All right, this is a real live example.
Don't call yourself trying to protect me.
Not yet, and that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes we assume stuff, but at the same time, it's like, all
Hmm.
right, now I'm mad because I wanted you to tell me, don't make the decision for me.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that I gotta look at it from both sides when it comes to that. Real live example though, I was working at a job once upon a time, and somebody I was dealing with at the time, we both worked at the same job at this particular time. And a dude, this I won't call him a homeboy because I ain't know him from the street. I just know him from the job. And you know how you pass by people, you speak, you say certain things because y'all work together. So y'all
Yeah.
pass each other, y'all had certain little small conversations. Smiling in my face pretty much. The dude said something sideways. He slid in our inbox one day. And I guess he gave himself the excuse of him knowing her sister because he went to school with her sister. So that's how he's familiar with her already. He already know his big sister. I mean, her big sister. So he slid in our inbox before and said something kind of sideways. And I think this happened maybe like a day or two before she actually told me. So she withheld it from me. Of course, it wasn't a thing where I just asked her because I ain't never think that yo would do nothing like that. So of course I ain't bring nothing up first. But she sat on it for about a day or two and then thought about it. And then one day we were sitting and was talking and she just brought it up. She was like, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but such and such and such and such and such, this will happen.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, but why you ain't tell me?
Why you ain't been tell me?
Then she was like, cause all right, it's bad enough we all down there on the job. They gave her, I ain't want to start no drama. You know, I'm not with drama. I don't be with none of that. Plus, I already know you know me well enough to know that I'm not dumb like that to even play in your face and even entertain the nigga. So I ain't think it was even worth me telling you for you to go and say something to him and make a situation that he get in his ego and his feelings and make a scene at the job and shit go left and you probably lose your job or something. I feel that, but at the same time, I wish I would have knew. I do feel where she coming from though. I can't blame her for that. But at the
Yeah,
same
but I
time,
need to
it's like
know. I need to know.
the reason why I still felt the little way is because I come in here, this nigga start little conversations with me and this, that, and the third. At the same, like I said, even though that's not my homeboy, we still co-workers that communicate.
Right.
And at this point, you smiling in my face because you know what you did behind my back to my girl, but you having conversations with me behind my back. So now you playing me for a sucker.
That
And
part.
initially,
All the time they want to take your place, them backstabbers.
and
Backstabbers.
initially, I told I wasn't even gonna say nothing to him because we laughed it up. I like, yeah, these niggas suckers. I said I ain't even gonna say nothing to him because I already know you ain't. I know you and I trust you. These niggas is clowns. I said I ain't even gonna say nothing to him. Then I thought a couple hours went by. I thought about it like, man, hell no. Because what's gonna happen is he gonna keep playing in my face and thinking I'm a lame. And in his mind, because I know how, even though I don't be on that, at the end of the day, I'm still a dude. So I know how dudes operate. In his mind, he gonna feel like
She ain't say nothing.
exactly.
So
And
it's
by her
okay.
not saying nothing, she's
It's okay.
accepting of the
Mhm.
entertainment. It's okay.
Mhm.
And what he, and in turn, he's gonna go report to the clique that he run with at the job, and then all of them gonna be looking at me crazy, and then everybody gonna play with me. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I gotta say something to
He
him.
might try it
No, we
again.
not doing that. I gotta say something to him. And that's what I did. I said something to him. It ain't go left or nothing. No, he copped the dude. And don't get me wrong. I don't want nobody thinking I'm some kind of tough guy. No, I'm far from tough or any of that. I just don't play goofy shit.
Exactly. Stand on principle.
Exactly.
So,
So I
It
got
just seemed like this whole thing, you know, with the not sharing, like it's a slippery slope.
yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
It's just a slippery slope because I don't know. Because the one thing that my cousin used to always say to you, if you want to know about your partner, when you know, oh, if you think your man is cheating 9 times out of 10 he is, because you're thinking it. If you can you keep a secret from your partner? Yeah, yeah. Well, then your partner could keep a secret from you too. Like at the end of the day, we are attracting those that have some of the qualities that we have as well. You know what I mean, within us. So it's just one of those things where it's like I feel like anybody can keep anything from anybody, but it gets to a point where it's like, then if you're keeping things, do you only still have me because you're keeping things away? You know what I mean?
Doing.
Would I leave, or would I still be as loyal if I knew what I didn't know?
And
And it
that goes, yeah,
doesn't mean that there's involving another person. You get what I'm saying? Because cheating is not always the factor in everything.
right.
But it's
It's
just
just
like,
the way that somebody moved. That goes back to what I
right,
said the first time the
would I
call.
be here
How are
still?
you doing things to begin with for you to
Right,
even want to withhold anything from me?
right. So would I even be here?
Right.
So you withholding or misguiding or being manipulative or not trying to say or telling half truths is like you're telling the half truths, or you're doing what you're doing for some benefit, because the benefit ain't for me.
Right. And that's not, yeah, that's not cool.
So it's like it's the selfishness in it.
Right. That's not cool.
But then when you feel like you over it and you done and you don't no longer want to rock with whoever you rocking with, now you run to unleash and tell everything.
Oh yeah,
right.
now
Because you done
that's
moved
why
on.
I
Because you done moved on.
right,
So you really was with Bernadette.
right,
Right.
So it's like people are okay with things until they're done with it. When you ain't
Right.
done with it, or you don't want to let it go, you try and fight nail and tooth and hold on to it. Let something that was 5'5", thick and fine come through, or whatever it may be, or the promotion at the job, or you get approved for the lease and can finally get your own place and ain't got to be with her. Oh, some people be dragging.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's like, yo, whatever it is that it is, there's always a benefit, but the benefit doesn't always benefit the benefitter.
Right.
The benefitee, you
Right.
know,
Benefiting.
the benefitee is the innocent bystander who don't have a goddamn clue as to what's going on.
Mm.
If I ain't telling you I didn't do something, there's a benefit. Girl, I ain't telling him that I found $100 in the dryer today in his clothes. I don't feel like in his mouth. It ain't always gotta be
It ain't
another
always
person
gotta be
involved.
right. And that's like I
He
said,
said
how
when he got
you
off work today, he
moving?
said he hungry. He wanted the food to be ready. Girl, what you gonna do? Girl, I told him I took the chicken out. Girl, I ain't take that chicken out yet.
Right.
Damn.
You know, it ain't always a bad thing, but I'm just saying that these are the small little windows. I wanted to use that word. It probably don't even go, but I've been wanting to say that. Where where we do it all the time. You lie to your kids and tell your kids is juice in the cup to get them to drink it, and you didn't marinate it with water.
I mean, there's still not a lot. If the juice is mixed with the water, it is juice in there.
All right, you telling me they finished they schoolwork, they can go outside, and you tell them no. Like we do it. We do it. We do it. We may not mean to all the time, but we do it. We manipulate kids to get them to do what we want them to do all the time. We do it.
I really do feel like it's a difference, and
Broccoli make you strong. When the last time you know broccoli to make you goddamn strong? I love broccoli.
It's situational. I really do still think it's situational. I think in every situation, because y'all still do gotta remember, even though you gotta remember people are in different places, and even though you saying like if we not mature right now, everybody not in that place, and that's just the truth. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're gonna get people from every walk.
Okay, so let's check this out. Watch this. True man, if you manipulative and misguide people, just say that.
Okay. I'll be who I am. I'm not scared to admit that, and I'm definitely not scared of a tough conversation ever in life. Okay,
I know, I'm just picking. Look, Audrey, if you look, say you out here lying without saying you're lying.
Listen, I try to keep the ground open because we got to understand sometimes that everybody not in your space. That's the one thing you gotta always know, and you gotta remember when you wasn't in one of them spaces too. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna always be speaking to a person that's in the best space. You're not, and that's the truth.
This is true. But I
was gonna say, because if y'all really want to tell the truth, like how many of these relationships that y'all know in your own, where communication is 100% on point.
No, it's not. So that's why I'm saying, communication is not on the point, but I feel like communication and just blatantly lying and shit is two different things.
Right, but see, the whole thing is if you have your communication on point, there's never a reason to lie.
Yep, there you go.
Right, there's never a reason to lie. So how many people have 100% communication on point?
I'm trying to see the correlation. I don't see that being together. Communication can be on point and a person is a liar, right? That's a character defect. So it's like, yeah, we know how to communicate. They're going to sit, they're going to listen, and we're going to talk about it. But they lie. That don't mean they got poor communication. That just means that they got a character defect somewhere. Because you have people who communicate all day long.
Mm-hmm. But I'm only going to communicate when I want to communicate.
Yeah. And that don't mean that they what we were just saying, whatever we were just saying, I forgot. But you know what I mean? That's to me that's two different things. You can communicate.
I don't know. I would think that a person
communicate don't mean that I'm just because you can know how to communicate don't mean that you're honest.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, that is the people who not really ready to be real about communication.
And just because you're honest don't mean you know how to communicate. You got therapists
the way that I see this
is doctors and therapists who don't even know how to communicate, but that don't mean that they lie. That don't mean that they don't mean that you're manipulative to somebody.
Real communication to me is really communicating. Now, if you want to still be sitting around lying and all of that, to me, I would take it as you was not really ready to be a communicator. That's how I'm gonna look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, I do.
Just talking. I communicate my lie all day long. You want me to communicate?
I get what you mean.
Most of the time, listen, in most of these relationships, when y'all start hearing failure, what is the failure? What is the failure? Like, be honest. What is the failure when you start hearing people saying their relationship is started failing? What started the failure?
But I can also communicate with a lie. I communicate with Fly
No,
every day.
I get what
Every
your
single
man is
day.
saying though. She not saying she. All right, we already know what
They just
literal
moving the goalposts,
communication
DJ. They
is.
moving
No,
the
no, I
goalposts.
get
I'm
no, I
saying.
get what you're
They
saying.
just
I
moving the
totally
goalposts.
understand what you're saying. I
Yeah,
totally
I get what
understand
you're
what you're
saying.
saying. But I'm just saying, I'm saying for me, people can communicate and have a moral and moral issues
Yeah,
and
that's
Right.
true
character
too,
defects.
though. Yeah, that's true too.
You can because like he said, like Artie was saying too, I can know how to communicate all the time. That don't mean that I'm being that I got that I'm not being honest or that I'm lying or whatever the case may be with whatever he said. Because you can communicate, but
Right.
that don't mean that if 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 I got a gambling habit or drug addiction, that don't mean I don't know how to communicate.
I'm gonna communicate to get that
For
$10
me,
about
I'm
off
looking
you.
at what y'all talking about is the person just talking. They're just talking. They're not really ready to communicate in my book.
Well,
Communication
that's
to
the thing
me
is,
means something totally different. I
well,
ain't talking
Look,
about talking to be
communication to
talking.
me is
You
you
can
what
you
does
talk
the
all that.
communication look
Like
like
if
to
you
you?
ain't really ready to communicate and be real about what's going on, then there is zero communication. Now we all could just talk. We could let
But
anybody
that's
talk
just
and lie and
but it
it's
all of
is
like
that. But are
possible.
they being real with communication? I'm talking about real communication. Like
But it
real.
is possible. But it is possible to be able to communicate, and you aren't
still lying.
deceitful.
Exactly.
You aren't deceitful, or you are still lying. That don't
Right.
like some of that stuff is a character flaw. You have
Okay.
some people who just
Because you
lie.
asked
That is,
me to communicate. You asked me to talk
yeah,
about it. I can talk about it to now to next week. But am I
yeah.
still telling you the
To
truth?
me,
No.
if you're not even
Oh,
being real with a person and sitting down
exactly.
and
But
really
Yeah,
you
getting
asked
to
me
the
to
bottom of
communicate.
something, to me, which I'm gonna consider communication. Now,
yeah.
if
She's
we
saying
just
that's
No,
her
I
talking and
wouldn't
definition
consider
of it.
we
I
just
wouldn't
speaking
consider
back
that
and forth and
communication.
you lying to me, you just talking.
Yeah,
I
I get what you're
wouldn't
You're
saying.
consider
not
that.
real about
That's your
communication.
definition of
You're
it.
not being
Yeah,
real about
No, I definitely
communication
get
to
it. I
me.
definitely get it. Yeah,
Now,
that's
if
her
you sitting
definition.
around just lying and running off at the mouth, now that's something totally different to me. I'm not gonna see that as communication to me.
yeah, I
Yeah,
get
So
it.
what did the
yeah, I get
communication
it.
look
Get
like
what
to
I'm
you?
saying?
Yes,
Huh?
that's a good
What
question.
does the communication look like to you?
Communication to real communication. Let me put the word real in front of
Go
it.
ahead. Okay. All right, go
What's
ahead.
real?
So,
What's real?
real communication to me is about honesty and truth. Let's sit down and really get down to the bottom of whatever this is. Let's really sit down and have a conversation about what this really is. That's communication to me.
But
Okay.
within that, but
Now,
me telling you all of this,
I would hope that we, huh?
if I start
What you saying? Okay.
communicating, if I start communicating, how do you know
Mm-hmm.
if I'm still feeding you a lie or not? You ask me to sit down and get down to the nitty gritty. I may get down to it, but I'm still holding something in that I'm not telling you. But I'm gonna tell you what I think you want to hear at that moment.
You won't know until you
And
know.
guess
I'll tell
what?
you
And
that.
guess
Exactly.
what? Guess what?
So you know,
Guess what, though?
you ask me to
That's
And
talk
on me
most
about
of
it.
on
the
you.
times, that stuff will come to the surface. It
Exactly.
will
That's like I
There you
said. You
go.
at
won't
some
know
point.
until you know.
It
Yep.
does.
Right.
It
You
does.
could lie all you want and do and play all them games and not be real about the communication. A lot of times these things will surface.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
will. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm just saying real communication to me is about being real. Are we gonna be real? And evidently, if you're sitting around lying to me, evidently you're not being real. You're not really
Exactly.
real about this communication that's going on.
Yeah, because
Okay? So
that energy gonna catch up with you eventually.
yes, and it will.
It's gonna catch up.
Yeah.
And it will. So to me, I'm just thinking real communication. You get what I'm saying? That's it.
Oh, definitely.
Or whatever. I think
And
that's what
again,
I'm
that's the only
looking
way relationships work and people get through stuff because they had open, honest communication.
communication.
That's how they
In which
got through it and over it.
I'm not talking against that at all.
Yeah. I've
And
definitely had
Right.
no, I've definitely
I
had some
don't
open,
disagree
honest
with what you're
conversations.
saying either.
I
I
know,
don't.
but we
I've definitely was able to have some open, honest conversations with some people, and they're good. And then with some people, it turned out them motherfuckers was lying. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
so it's like you could feel like, oh, you know what, we can communicate. We can talk about anything. until
Whole
that
time though.
until that ain't thing show up, and there's certain conversations motherfuckers want to avoid. But that's because too, sometimes depending upon what the conversation is or what y'all are discussing, there are some things that we can still be so bound and strong, some things that we have some feelings about that we have not let go or forgiven, that we can't even discuss it without it being an argument, because I truly do feel some type of way. I didn't really let it go, whatever it is that may have or have not happened. It's like, no, it's still there. But instead of saying, look, this feeling is here, let's get to the bottom of the feeling. See, a lot of times we run from that and we don't want to deal with that.
That
Sometimes
hard conversation.
you gotta sit in your shit. And the thing is, not everybody is willing to do it. I feel like it's a definitely a blessing when you do have somebody who's willing to sit in their shit and you sit in your shit and y'all sit in that shit together and y'all push through it.
Sometimes
Where we're lying and we're not pushed through it. But you know what? When you did this is what I was thinking. This is how this made me feel. And now when you want to talk about it, it hurt because I didn't know what happened. What I thought I was the best thing, or I thought the bill was paid, all of that. But when you let shit slide, and I don't want to talk about it. Let's just move past it. We starting over, and we here, and we keep getting back together. Or you keep, rebuying, getting loans, and going gambling. It's like, all right, we sweeping it under the rug and not never addressing the problem. So now when something else happening, it may be small, I'm blowing your head off. And it ain't even about the fact that you forgot to put the top on the ketchup. It's everything you did prior to the ketchup. And it may be years upon months, years and ages and stuff ago. Even with your kids, like your kids, you may not go off all the time because you might be like, look, if I go off, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. But it's the one thing, you come in the house and there is one crumb on the table and you just flip. And they like, it's just a cup. It's not just a goddamn cup. It's everything you did leading up to the cup.
Yeah.
This is true.
So I think we just definitely, we got to start healing, individually before we be trying to heal together. And if you do try to be with someone and we try to heal together, then baby, that ain't gonna be no easy road, because it's hard enough, healing by your goddamn self.
But that's why you got to be real. I feel like everything about it is about being real. And if you're not ready to be real, then maybe you're not ready for a relationship. Because I agree with y'all saying, far as you do supposed to be able to come to who you with and talk about anything you do. You do. That's the whole purpose. Like, they supposed to be your go-to. You could go to them. It shouldn't be nothing you shouldn't be able to discuss.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Of course you got your friends, right? For what we talk about, our friends, for our best friends and stuff like that. But with some things like my heart and being free and no judgment, I don't want to not be able to be like that with my guy.
Yeah, because what's the point? What y'all doing if that's not the brand of why y'all together?
Why we together if I still gotta be a little guarded?
Right. But a lot of times the crazy thing about it all is you go through different experiences to bring you to the real part of that. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times what you think is ain't. You know what I mean? When you're young, you think you love, you think you know what it is, you think you think you know something. You don't know nothing. You know what I mean? You be having to go through these stages of stuff. That's the only reason I be devil advocate a lot, though, because you gotta remember people in different stages of life. Period.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We can definitely have somebody my age, over 50, that's still stuck in some 22-year-old experience. You know what I mean? So sometimes,
and that's what I'm saying. Those people need to just stay clear and not fucking come down here fucking with the pollution of the country.
But I'm just saying, sometimes they might have to hear that it is growth, because they could be stuck in this experience we skip over. You get what I'm saying? But if they hear that this is an experience, you are out here wilding. You wildin'. This is why I'm not talking to you wildin'. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that could make them see something about themselves. Oh well,
But what
wow, I
happens the
must be
minute?
the mature.
But what
Like,
happens the minute they be like, you know what? I don't want to do. I don't want to do this no more. Fuck it. We don't got
Right.
to do anything. We ain't got to do this. And then it's like, well, dang, really? Like I thought this was what you wanted. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
It's like
listen, I'm
it's like
55 and I
that's
learn something
translation.
new
That's
all the
translation
time.
for I don't really want to be real right now. I want to stay who I am and be on my bullshit. That's what that means.
Yes.
but some
Mhm.
relationships go in behind that. And it's like,
Yeah, I
okay.
And
know.
it will. And it be meant to. When it end, it was meant to end. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But the
definitely.
crazy thing, sometimes you don't see that all the time. You
Yeah.
think you know, you have no clue. You know what I mean? So a lot of times when y'all hear me disputing this, because I'm trying to talk to that person right there. Okay? Because sometimes they need to hear that. I needed to hear that before in life. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I needed to hear experience. I listening in here in Candace group, being in here for the last couple of years. Y'all know how much stuff I've been picked up out of listening to the guys in the group alone. Okay,
Hmm.
so it's like, whoa, you learn something new all the time. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? You
because they
definitely
always talk
learn
about what they
something
went
new.
to deal with, and they take us through hell.
It's just crazy all around the board. And then you learn something about women too. You know what I mean? You do get to see the women who be wanting the most or the less or whatever. You see all kind of stuff from all over. You get what I'm saying? So I
Oh,
get it. You
definitely.
get what I'm saying? I definitely get it. You know what I mean? But you know, at the end of the day, I do differ with y'all a little bit when it comes down to that question of the day. I do agree with some parts of it. Some parts of it, I disagree. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but I get what y'all saying and I understand it from y'all point of view, but I still kind of just look at it a little different of how I perceive it. I understand it, but I perceive it differently. That's it.
Understandable.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And it's
Right.
and it's good because we can all just have our own ways of how we look and how we see things, you know. It's
Right.
just that ultimately I hope that the message overall that we working on tonight, you know, if love what they say, if love ain't enough, make it enough. But no. Um, you know,
Love
just
will keep us together.
yeah, like you know, ultimately, if you know you're not really prepared for something or not ready for something, then you know, I don't even want to say try, right? But it's just like if you know that something isn't it, don't even mess with it.
Love.
Right.
And let
I
me
hope.
say one other thing to that part too. I do love that you kind of brought it up and you stripped it down. So that was a excellent thing to do to me for people who are stuck at certain parts of what they think it is. You know what I mean? If you think you love me or you thought you loved me for all these reasons, but when you start stripping down, okay, if it wasn't the rent and if it wasn't these things and if it wasn't that, I like that you did that because people can ask themselves them tough questions. To me, that's the self questions that you need to ask yourself sometimes. Ask those
Mhm.
things to yourself. Like, and when you strip it all down, what are you really looking at the bottom line of that?
Well, I
I
Yeah.
must
like
have
that.
missed that part. I must have missed
Yeah,
that
that
part.
was in the beginning, and we were talking about
Oh,
relationship and friendships. Like, you know, if somebody genuinely want to be your friend, is it because you buy them lunch every week, and that's why CJ my friend because every Friday he gonna treat me to lunch, so he's my good friend.
no,
But
that's
it's you know what I'm saying. I mean, some people attach to people because of what they can do
what
for them
they
or
can
what
do
they
for
have
them.
done for them.
Right,
That's why I
It's
Yeah.
just
not
right.
always
no
say,
genuine friendship, but because you do this all the time, then that's my friend.
that's why
Or
I was
like
getting
I'm
ready to
Right.
or
say the
like I'm
word
here because or like I'm here because you know we have kids together, we got a house, we got this. It's like no, like let's take all of that off the table and just look at the person. Like, do
Yeah,
you really even love me? Why are
yeah,
you here? Not
yeah,
because of what I can do for you, not because of the benefits, not because of things that we've done, but just looking at the core of the person.
yeah, the word
yeah.
love
I
get
love that.
mishandled a lot because a lot of people only they only relate the word love to the good feelings I
Financial.
get when we being physical or like y'all just said, the things that I can benefit from as far as what you do for
Hmm.
me or what you can provide for
Yeah,
me. A lot of people don't look at the word love the way it's supposed to be looked at when you take like something I heard when I first tuned in, I heard you say, Candace, when the intimacy part is not, when they don't got nothing to do with it, take that part off the table. That's not what love is. That actually is supposed to just be the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Love is supposed to be, how are you moving when I'm not around? What are the things that you're doing, and how are you representing to us when ain't nobody looking? What are the decisions that you're making that are selfless? The things that you're doing that's gonna make sure I do well and don't just benefit you. How are you carrying yourself when it comes to me? How are you making me look when you got to make
Mhm.
these decisions, or when you in a situation where how should I put this? Damn, I don't need like 15 thoughts just rush me at the same time. I don't even know how to get it out. But
That's
who
okay.
who are you when it comes to what you think about me, and how do you care for me
Mhm.
versus just the physical, or whether I can do something for you or not?
Yeah.
This right here almost feel like a homework. It make you really want to go back and ask somebody that though. Like
It
ask
did.
your
I'm
partner
telling you,
that, ask your
No,
children that. Like what is it?
it
Like
really
why
did.
do you love me? Why? What is it
it
about
did.
Yeah,
me?
It is. It
That-
is.
Right. It do. It's almost like a homework. And are you satisfied with the answer that you're hearing? You know what I
Because
mean?
then it's
Like it
like,
True.
really
is it the answer, or you
but
gonna
I
want to change the answer to what you want to hear? Because, like I said, sometimes these are the things that you know. I think that we don't ask ourselves. Like I told you, when she was like, I'm like, oh, he's considerate. He's there. He has his moments when he'll be out and he'll just buy me something, or I love him like just who he is. It's like, I'm not talking about what he can do for you. Do you love him? Well, let's talk about what we know. He's a liar. He's a cheater. He doesn't care about your feelings. He's dismissive. He doesn't communicate. Yeah. So tell me what you love about him again. It'd be like, well,
hmm
shit.
hmm
and you be needing to ask that. Like I feel like really that alone is like a big eye opener to a person
Yeah.
that sleep.
But I
Seriously,
said
like
that
if you
earlier.
sleep
Some
If
because
you
people,
you
ask
think
some
that
you
people
know
like
question,
being
something,
asleep though.
but
that
if you
right
ask that
there will
question,
give
No,
you a
it
wake
just
up
CJ,
call.
CJ, it's not even that people love being asleep. Some people don't even know they're asleep.
Know that they
Damn,
sleep.
you know
They
what?
don't. Because
Damn.
they convince
but no,
themselves. They
it's
convince themselves of what they feel or what they want. Like I feel like a lot of times you will convince yourself of something if it's something you want. You know what I mean? You will
You
convince yourself
know
that you
what?
see these things
but
or you know these things or all of this, but it's not real.
You know what?
if I ask that hard question and I get the truth, then I know it's gonna be over.
You
So
know
I'm
what?
Well, you
avoiding
know
Right.
what?
asking that
Not even
question.
that,
Yeah.
right? I remember, and I used to do this to like my kid or like my mother, because you can really apply it to anything, right? And I remember I asked, when was this? This was like ages ago. When I've even said that to myself, like, or asked it about my kid, or asked my mother, like, or my sister, and I'm like, I know we're related and I'm your sister, or I know I'm your daughter and you're my mother. Take that relationship out the table. Why do you love me? It'd be like when we really can just sit there and have to take some stuff off the table, not change it or move the goalposts like Tremenda said, like we do, but it's really just like, why? I'm like, why do you love your kid? Not the fact that you birthed them and you had them, right? Because people had kids, everybody just take it like, why do you love your children? It
I,
makes you it makes you have to really stop, take all of that out, and really go to the core of the person.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
sometimes it'll make you go to the core of yourself because you gotta
exactly.
think selfless and you gotta think
is
deep
that
enough.
is
You know
that
what I mean?
fair?
And
Is
sometimes you be finding your own stuff down there that you should have been looking at about you.
is
You know
Okay.
what
that
I
fair
mean?
to ask
Because
a parent that about their child though? Is that fair? Because I feel like by nature, that child has been with that parent since that child has been a creation. Since they've been a thing. So just the very fact that that child has grown inside of that mother, came out of that mother, and that mother's been nurturing that thing as it grew up. That's kind of sort of like an innate. thing that you just love them because that's you. You've been here the whole entire time. So it's like, is that fair to ask them that versus asking somebody
Yes,
that you just came across in
yes,
life out the blue,
yes.
and then
Because guess what?
they had to
Guess what?
learn,
You can have a
you and
child for
see how
20
you
years.
move.
You can have a child for 20 years and you didn't love them the whole 20 years.
Yeah.
You had them, you took care of them, but you didn't love them. And so many people,
I think that speaks to that who that parent is as an individual.
but like she said,
All of this is individually based, but at the end of the
right,
day, but it can be looked at those things where it's like,
yes,
it goes down to the core of, that goes to that's why we have so many people who love people with conditions.
mm-hmm,
I love you until you do something I don't like.
yeah,
I want to be with you till you ain't doing and moving the way I feel like you should move. But it's like,
mm-hmm,
but let me take all of that off the table. Do I really love you unconditionally? And the most answers as parents is because you mine. I raised you. I loved your father. I took care of you. Okay, that's the nurturing side, the motherly side. But it's like, take that other stuff. Do you love them? What is it that you love about them? Why do you love them? Other than you giving birth to them? Because if that's the case, how are we able to love people we ain't give birth to?
mm-hmm.
That's
Because
what I'm saying.
it's
That's what I
like,
was saying. I was trying to figure out the different. How can we make that the same when that's a person that you ain't give birth to versus a person that's been with you since they've been inside
because
your
you
whole
got some people
body.
who love the people that they didn't give birth to more than they love their own kids.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I
I
mean?
think
And you have
sometimes
adults
when you
now
look at
that'll
those
tell you.
answers, when you look at those answers, sometimes though, I really think
And
that
I
that
feel like
is
it
your
ain't no
answer
right or
enough
wrong
to dig
answer.
deep,
I just think that it just
right?
makes you think.
That's
Make you
pretty
Right.
think, and
interesting.
it's gonna make you dig deeper because I'm
That
telling you, some of them real, especially if you are being real about your answers. See, a lot of people
Right.
don't like to be real when they
Yeah.
gotta look in the
Mm-hmm.
mirror. If what the issue be a lot of times. So if you got all these crazy answers coming back, if you being honest, because the whole thing is about being honest in the answers. You know what
that's
I
Mm-hmm.
mean? In the
pretty
questions, you got to
interesting.
be honest in the answers in the questions. Be real with them. So when you start getting back some crazy questions and answers, then you know you got to look within. Now this
And
is
Okay.
don't get me
something
wrong, my
past the
baby. I mean, don't get
level
me wrong. Like don't get me wrong. And let's see if we can give answers or something. I don't know. My daughter drive me crazy. Sometimes she get on my nerves. And if I had to take out the fact that I loved her father and that I was with her and that I had her, right? And all of it, and I take that off the table when I really just have to take all of my opinion, take all of the things that we've gone through off of the table and just look at her as the person. It's like I love her. I love her. If we take that out there, right? I love her heart. I love who she is deep down within that she don't even see yet. You know what I mean? It had that, and that's just one part of it. And that don't have nothing to do with, oh, I love her because I raised her, because she was with me. It's because it's like I love her because I can see her. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with carrying her, raising her. Now if we add the other things, what if the things that add to it? Oh, because I loved her father. I love her smile. I love when she laughs. You know, I love when I see her blossoming and doing what I think, she's marvelously growing. Those are things where it's like, oh, you loving her because she doing something that you doing, but how do you love her when she doing what you don't want her to do, or what you don't think she should be doing? So it's like, if when you take all of that off the table, it's the core of who, like, how her heart is. Well, she could be mean as a rattlesnake, you know, but outside of that, it's that core of that person. I don't love everybody like that. Just because some people, yeah, I may only rock with you because of what others can do for me. You know what I mean? The love is surface level in this condition. is conditional. Not too many people that we unconditionally love, like in spite thereof. Because you have people who mistreat kids, you have people who mistreat foster kids, you have people who mistreat animals, anything. People take care of, we take care of what we take care of what we love. We handle it with care. But people are the things that we say we love the most that we mishandle the most. And I think that is where like some healing can begin, some things that we need to work on. Love is not always about, a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or whatever you are into. Love is unconditionally all the way around. Just imagine if God loved you with conditions. He don't love us with conditions, because what we could do, if anything, we do so much stuff he should have gave up on us a long time ago.
Yeah, sure.
But it's like when we look at that, because God is love, and when you look at that part of it, right, it's like he ain't loving you with conditions to it. So
Well,
it's
I
like,
guess I feel like for the rest of your life, you're gonna be learning how to do some things, okay? And them
you
Most
got you
conditions
got
is
definitely.
you
one of
got
them
to.
things you're gonna be learning your way through because I do, like I said, I feel like love look different to everybody sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes it could look the same to some people, sometimes it could look different. Everybody don't know the definition, and everybody haven't experienced to really know the true meaning. You know
And
what I
you know
mean? So
what?
they might really feel like they giving all the love that they can, but it's all the love they know. You
And
know
you
what I
know
mean?
what?
So
Mhm.
That boils down to people knowing who they dealing with so they can have that level of understanding on what love means to each other so they can know whether they're actually being short-handed or not. Cause that everything you just said, true man, that brought me back to a realization that I got maybe I say about a year or two ago, where a lot of times, like when I would have conversations with people and they would ask me what I think or what I feel about a particular situation, and I would say all the time that, oh no, that person ain't love you, or that person don't love such and such. But then I had to think about it like, no, I can't say that. I gotta stop saying that because that person probably really think they love that person, but it's only to what they think love is. They have a limited mindset or outlook on what love look like to them. So they think they doing the things that means that they love this person when the whole time they hurting this person because that's not what love look like to them.
And love is also an action word.
Right.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
some people feel if they do
and
something
you
to
know what,
somebody,
Candace?
that equates to
Oh,
love.
sorry. Yeah, I'm
Because
sorry.
like I said, everybody's definition is different. Because I might
Yeah,
feel,
Exactly.
oh, because I bought Candace something, she'll know that I love her.
Yeah, that's
right.
why
And
I
that's
had to
not it.
stop
And
saying
they
that.
think the more they give in love.
Yes.
But we're taught
And you know
that,
what?
that
Go ahead,
gifts
Andre. I'm
equate,
sorry.
that's love. That's love.
And that,
And
and,
Yes.
it's
and,
not.
and that's not love for everybody. That's not
Right.
that's for some people that's just a small part of it. So if that's the only thing you're doing to somebody who looks at that as just a small part, they're not gonna feel that love.
Right.
Yeah, because the minute I'm having a moment, or the minute that I don't have no energy, or the minute that it stops, and it may not be because of anything specific, right? That you specifically are doing, but the minute that your norm is switched, you're gonna automatically take it personal
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and think you don't love
And
me no
think that
more.
yeah, yeah.
You ain't
And
this,
you
but
know
that's
what is
why,
an example too, Candace? You
huh?
you the movie person. You I say you the movie person. So this is an example I'm gonna give you from a movie. But when
Oh, what you
Tina
want? What you
Turner
want? What you
and
want? What
What's
you want to be?
Love,
I can. I
and
heard
look,
the sort of picture.
When Tina Turner was trying to, like I want to say wanted to receive love from her mom was one different way. And she wound up in a really abusive relationship, which she Freud still wasn't really like differentiating because she didn't feel love from home. You get what I'm saying? So her
But
picture of
right.
love probably was distorted. is why she
Was
even probably
abuse.
was with
It was
Ike Turner that
abuse.
long.
Love
Right.
Well,
showed up in
of course,
abuse.
she suffered. She also dealt with abandonment because her mother left her. What
Right. And
happened?
I'm
We,
saying, and when you looking at Tina Turner, she was a grown woman when all of this was going on. That's why I'm saying in different people in different phases of life going through different things because they're trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure out stuff. Sometimes when you have a rocky past, you get what I'm saying? You might don't learn this in the time that I learned it, or I might don't learn it
Right.
in the time you learned it. You could be younger than me and I
But
still
even
ain't
in
get it
relationships, I
being
think we
over
better
it.
remember that even in relationships,
Hmm.
Stockholm syndrome is very real.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I
But
mean?
that's
So
the
sometimes,
only reason the love part, it could be so tricky because everybody think they know the definition, but is that you knowing the definition from your understanding? You get
and
what
you
I'm saying?
also
Like,
they
Right.
also say another big indication is how you love yourself.
yeah,
That part.
Mhm.
I said it earlier. Remember, if
Hmm.
you're not loving yourself, you're
You
yes,
really in trouble.
Yeah, because people,
yes, you are. That's
because
true,
if you ain't
Angel.
loving yourself, then you know what I mean. Somebody is going to be able to just come and give you anything. And don't get me wrong, like loving yourself is completely because you gotta love you when nobody's looking. You gotta love you when you don't feel like loving you. You gotta love you when
Mm-hmm.
you small as a potato and when you big as a 2 liter. You gotta love you even when the relationship ain't working. You gotta love you even if people keep going through breakups and it's like, damn, is there something wrong with me? No, you gotta love you even when people reject to love you or don't want to love you. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And that's
Because
the
we
one
often,
thing that people gotta look at when they going through pain though, because a lot of times they let go of that. You get what I'm
but that's
saying? You
why we
let
said
go of
too,
the
people
power of
stay
that.
in a lot of relationships because nobody we don't want to do deal with the breaking.
We don't want to be alone. We don't deal with the breaking, and we equate the fact that you didn't leave me yet that you love me because you're still here. And that's
Or,
not the.
or you
That's
or you
not
give me
it. You know what
money.
I'm saying? Or you're beating on me. That means you love me because I'm worthy enough for you to keep staying here, and I'm keep taking it. So yeah, that's love. They look at love in so many different ways that keep them stagnant and right where they at, and that's the problem. Love shows up in so many different ways to some people. They equate love in all sometimes in all the wrong ways.
Right. And that's because the whole thing is them looking at themselves a lot of times, though. Because a lot of times you definitely have to do the self work because everything really is about the self work. When you do
No,
the self work
definitely.
on yourself, can't nobody come through and make destruction. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
Because
mean,
you all gonna
and
know
it's
who
not
you
saying
are.
that you turn into a robot. It because you're gonna feel how you feel, but you may now channel it in different ways. You know what I
Different
mean?
ways. That's what it
You
is.
may not. You
You're
may.
not
You
gonna
may.
be here
You
ready
may
to
not.
accept all the crap
Right.
you did before.
You may not want to just start sleeping with people. You may not want to drink it away. You may not want to eat it away. You may not want to smoke it away. You may not want to club it away no more. All of these like destructive ways that you may have used to do that was no benefit. You know what I mean? It's really just you against you all the
All
time.
day. That's what it is. And you don't know that at the beginning though.
And
Because
then
you
Hmm.
know
we
what?
bring people, then
You
we bring
looking at
people into our
everything but
space.
you. You looking at
Right.
everything but you. You know what I mean? That's why you could be in a bad relationship and you make that person this big. You make them so important. You get what I'm saying? Because you stop looking at you and the
And you go
importance
to
of you.
sleep. And you go to
Yeah.
sleep and don't even know you sleep.
Yep, I've done
It could
that.
be
I've been
like
there.
a whole denial, like, oh my God. Me sitting down with my kids when I had to be sitting at the hot table. Oh my God. Like I probably was every victim in the book. Like, what are you talking about? Somebody did this to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like you never really took the moment to sit down and be looking at yourself. Like, well, what role did I play in this for real? Like, did I choose? I did choose these things. Like, it's not like somebody coerced me to accept these things. Like,
Hmm.
I did this willingly. So now this is your fault. A lot of times you're not looking at that. You're looking at stuff surrounding that. You get what I'm saying? Well, I love this person and I was there because I loved them. Okay, but they was running all over top of you 50 miles an hour. You saying 50 stories within this and you knew those stories existed, but you were still right there. You chose
Hmm.
to stay through that. That was your
Hmm.
choice, nobody else's. You can't be mad when you made the choice. You gotta live what you made the choice and move past it, right? So
Even if
you
you
know,
think
like
you're
if
doing a good thing, it's still,
you really not.
yeah,
It's the
you
whole
really not.
accountability to it all.
Yeah,
You get what
I've
I'm
been
saying?
there.
And sometimes it take a minute to get to accountability of yourself.
And I'm
You
glad you
know what I
said that,
mean?
man. I was
So
waiting for you to say that word.
what
Cause that's the
accountability?
thing. Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that a lot of us don't get to. And that's the thing
Yes.
that I've also realized is the most important thing to get you over the situations that you call yourself being stuck in, or the situations that you don't even know you stuck in, or the situations that you blame everybody else for victimizing you in the whole time, even though you might not have necessarily did nothing wrong. You're still accountable for something in that situation for why it ended up how it ended up. And the
Mm-hmm.
faster you get to the accountability part as far as yourself, the faster you can get past it and not repeat the same
The
things
same
that you did. And
behavior. Hmm.
that's what I was there once upon a time, and that shit rough. But it's beneficial once you realize it and you start acting on it.
Yes, that's the truth.
Yeah.
And with that, folks, his love enough to make you stay with me. His love enough. Come on, y'all sing it. What do you say? To make you stop crying,
Hey,
crying.
yo.
I got
Uh,
$5 for whoever say they know who sing that record.
well, I don't know who that is. I ain't never heard.
What? So since y'all want to play these games, I'm challenging all of the upon on the throne. Next week, when we come back, I want y'all to go listen. Y'all better have listened to that toxic but so delicate and beautiful song
Oh my god.
by Cisco on Unleash the Dragon called Is It Enough? And it's talk about love. She said, I heard you call me, I heard you, you know I caught you cheating. I heard that she said, I heard that you've been paying bills. He said, that's a lie, that's a lie. Y'all gotta go listen to this song. Matter of fact, let me research it for you real quick.
Hey,
'Cause this
yo.
song,
See, when she
I
get to
thought,
singing, I'm telling you, you gonna think she's singing something from the '60s.
Right.
girl,
Girl,
listen.
where is that beat coming from? Like you got to stick to the rap music.
I
Thing.
know I gotta
But
let
like,
me
who grandpa wrote that?
listen. I sang it at the beginning of the show. It's called Is Love. It's called Is Love Enough?
I got to listen to that when we hang up.
Listen, and I started it, and I said, "Why is this in my spirit?" And that's how this topic came, not right, and because he says that, and she like, I caught you cheating, when he just still like, that's a lie, that's a lie, but it's a great song. But in this song, he's like begging her to stay. And he tell her, girl, I know you caught me cheating. Wait a minute, y'all
Yeah.
know. Listen, hold on. Y'all know I got to
Sound like
wait a
that
minute. I
from
got to
Tyler
catch the
Perry
beat.
or something.
Listen, y'all know I got to catch the beat. Don't shoot me yet. Y'all don't ever give up on me. I
Damn,
can't believe.
that,
I guarantee you, if CJ, when you hear this song,
Okay.
I guarantee you gonna be like, this song. Wait a minute, I can't play all of
Okay,
it.
so yeah, listen, I'm
just
turning
play
it
a
on.
little snippet.
I'm about to play a little snippet of it, but I don't know why this song up in my spirit.
Here you
I
go,
can't
y'all.
believe y'all. And Tremanda, you like slow songs, so I'm shocked.
And I got to hear this at the beginning because you don't sound like this song right here.
Listen. Y'all don't remember this? What you say? Ooh.
I can't hear it,
Listen,
man.
Now you got the little Jodeci. You gonna do the little Jodeci sound up in
listen.
there.
He said, girl, I see you crying, and I know it's because of me. I know you caught me cheating. and lying constantly, but I know you won't
This one
believe
of them sister
me.
songs I never heard before. I ain't never
This
heard this one.
song, listen,
I
this
think I
song is
did
shit.
then.
Huh?
I
I'm,
ain't
I'm
never
just
heard
bringing
this.
back. I think I remember hearing
Yeah,
that.
I can't hear it.
All right, listen. All right, that's okay. If y'all tell me shut up without telling me shut up, my lord. Let me let y'all hear because what he's saying, y'all, is so manipulative. But wait a minute.
I never heard that song.
All right, listen. Here we go. Listen.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I heard that song. Yeah, I remember that.
He said, I know you don't believe me, but when they say, I will always love you, something about somebody.
That
He goes
goes
up and
that
down.
yeah, that goes
Listen.
back.
Yeah, that was the question of the day. Is love enough?
He said, is love enough to make you understand?
That's fucked up. Why are we like that?
I don't know.
Why,
You got
why? All right, since that's a man speaking to a woman,
in Jesus' name. I hope we don't get copyright infringement, but Lord Jesus.
I'm a ask from that perspective, since that's a man speaking to a woman. Why do we do what we feel like we want to do because of how we feel in a moment, just to go back and beg this person to stay with us, knowing we did? Because if we did what we thought wasn't wrong, it wouldn't be nothing to beg for. You knew it was wrong. You knew you ain't had no business going mess with that girl. Why do we feel like we can go do what we want, and then this person just supposed to accept it and take us back while we keep? That's some fucked up shit.
Clip that.
That's just
Well,
selfishness.
that goes back to the
And
show
one
2 weeks
policy.
ago. Remember, we talked about that. Is marriage the humiliation ritual?
That's crazy, man.
Is marriage getting the ring the new humiliation ritual?
That's crazy. And it's emotionally damaging because while you so caught up in how you feel and satisfying whatever it is that you got going on with yourself, you don't even realize you emotionally damaging this girl because she over there really wishing that she was everything that you needed, because that's literally what she's supposed to be since y'all in a relationship. But yet you still giving yourself away to all these other people. You
Come
know
on.
how much that's taken away from what she feel and who she think about herself, to the
Woo.
point where what if she snap one day, take your life, or do some other crazy stuff? Now everybody looking at her like, well, no, I won't even say everybody looking at her like she crazy. Let's just say she kill you. Now she locked up because the justice system don't give a fuck about, oh, she was hurt, she was damaged. Oh, they don't care nothing about that. She about to go do 50 years.
Yeah, clip
Oh,
that.
because you ain't want,
You
you
know
feel, you
what
could
happens?
have just stayed single.
They're gonna say that you're not being accountable.
Yeah.
You're not accountable.
Yeah.
If you was
Yeah.
that's what they're
They're
gonna
gonna
say.
say,
Crazy,
they're gonna say,
man.
well, your honor, you knew he wasn't no good. Don't you know
You
Right.
should have
They're gonna
left.
bring all of
you?
that up. They definitely
You
will.
should have
They're gonna
left.
bring it all
That's
up.
But I'm not gonna lie.
crazy,
You
man.
get me on your jury, you're definitely coming home or getting a mistrial.
So no, that's the same way I feel.
Straight up. Because I feel like we have to, when it comes to some of these decisions, we have to remember that we are people, we are human, we have emotions, and we react.
That's the part that a lot of people forget.
Period.
And that's crazy to me because these are fellow humans. But that's the part that a lot of people forget.
People
So
just
y'all
don't
gonna
Self-love.
go listen to the song now?
And that also goes to
they
people
don't
that
want
ain't
to talk
never
about it.
been through nothing, crucifying people that go through stuff because they don't know what it feel like. See,
Yeah.
Right.
them judges that sit in them seats, they don't go through half of what the people that they convicting and throwing away in the jail system go through. That's why they can make these laws and say, oh, well, if you do this, then you get 100 years, not understanding the ground root of what led this person to being in this situation that had to make these decisions.
Yeah.
Because they don't never had to deal with none of that. That's why it's so easy for them to, and not, I'm not ready to take up for those of us that just be out here in the street acting crazy, even though it's a whole nother conversation on why that's how it is. But these judges, that's why it's no problem for them to give a nigga 100 years for getting caught with an ounce in his car.
Ooh, come on.
They don't care. They can care less. They ain't grew up the way we grew up. They ain't had to go through what we had to go through. They never been in a position where they had no way out, so they just did what was in front of them.
Well,
That's true.
brother Bishop CJ, please don't get your man started. Do not get your man started. I'm trying to end the show. Can we not? Can you withhold this said
I'm sorry,
word?
CJ, we gonna have that conversation one day.
Yeah, absolutely. We gonna have that one day.
Listen, because
We
I
gonna
felt
drag
that
Candace. We dragging Candace
I
to the
felt
to the
it.
top.
I felt it. Amanda was sitting there. She set up. She was ready to go off, man. Like, you know.
I'm telling.
Man was ready to say,
Hey,
you didn't land on Plymouth Rock, landed on rock. She was ready to go in. I already know. She was gonna say it was all a setup.
It was. It was.
You said all accountability to the side.
All right, look, CJ got my back, so I ain't even paying you no mind, Candace. That's why. On that topic right there, that topic right there.
They gotta be accountable. She was like, no, who the white man who made the world accountable? You like, you know what? Love her down, y'all. She be like, where's the handler?
Oh man.
CJ, you don't even know, boy. You was about to know. You just was about to
I
girl.
almost woke her up.
You what?
That's a part of unleashing the dragon, okay? Don't unleash the dragon.
We was sitting alive but to go back to Africa, okay?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
I'm not playing with y'all. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Listen, I'm practicing some kind of restraint.
Like, no, it's cool. It's a good conversation. We definitely have to have that conversation. This is why I can't wait to get the studio done, to start having like guests come and we can have these conversations, because I feel like with us too, let's start getting back to the core, you know. Just these are conversations, you know. Words are important and words are powerful. And I was listening to something earlier today that said, what are the words that you say? Because words never die. So even after you leave here, your words are still floating through the earth, right? So it was like, what are we doing? We need to put out more positivity and have more uplifting conversations, because there's so many demonic spirits just walking around, and we're breathing life into so much foolishness, that we ain't even pumping out nothing powerful and words to uplift and help other people. So we gotta do what we can and have our part. Of course, we have conversations. The show of the day for me, for the what is this? The 2026 is when CJ laid me out. You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
We on the show. He talking about why we even got to talk about this type.
I don't remember that.
Oh, of course you don't. The abuse, I never remember the abuse.
Hold on, wait a minute. I need a refreshing of that one.
Tremana, no, she was on the show. Tremana, CJ, we asked on the topic what was going around in the world, and you said, "Why are we bringing this up?" I said, "Well, no pun intended." Okay, but
oh man,
I don't know about y'all, but so far with just like how 2026 has been going and how the 9th year is starting, like I've been really loving the difference of conversations we've been having. I've been loving the engagement and y'all calling in and not having me sit here. And like I said, love y'all all. Shout outs to Andre. I couldn't do it last week. Andre still called in and sat here with me. I said, Andre, you feel me? He said, I don't. I'ma have to put a thing of bloopers together. Oh, they said I know.
I don't.
Oh, they said I don't go to work, so I can't relate to you, though. You feel me? So
Damn.
it's just that type of stuff. Like, you know, I want y'all to know y'all be shady as hell sometimes. And I love it though. I love it. I said, yeah, because you ever felt like you gotta go do something at these jobs? Oh, they said no. I can't believe it, girl.
I said no.
And then he added more to it. He said, girl, I ain't had to work in about 2 years, girl. I said,
Co-worker, what's a co-worker?
yes, I'm coming and giving these conversations like, well, you know, this is what's going around in the world. CJ said, why are we talking about the world? You know, so
Yo, I promise I don't remember that, yo.
oh, that's about 4 shows back. I remember.
Damn, it was that recent. And I still don't. Well, actually, I forget a lot.
So you know, and this even with Handy Mandy when she come up here and she flirt, I never forget that show when Handy Mandy came on the line. She was the first time I had to mute a mic, child. Like I was like, oh, this getting crazy, and she still take all the people. She
I was a little bit tipsy, y'all. I was a little bit tipsy.
no, but I love it. I love it. Like I feel like that's what it is. This is why I don't know. Like I'm glad that y'all came. I guess I made up for last week because we've been on here for 2 hours and 42 minutes. And we had technical difficulties earlier for about 15 minutes. I don't know what was going on with that, but it's fun. You know, these conversations and replay them back. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and just continue to be great while we trying to figure it out. Sanera, hey Sanera girl. Don't be tardy to the party.
What's up, Sanera?
She said if you married, you might get off. Oh, she's talking about with the creeping and the getting all that. What CJ was saying. Yeah, you know, so I just think that we just gotta. I just want to encourage all of us just to make a change within self, whatever that may look like for you. Just continue to work on being a better version of yourself, man. And no matter what disappointments come and how life come and what people may do, you just continue to do it. Because I saw something earlier that talked about how a tree goes and grows in both directions. It grows down in the dark and then it grows up towards the light. And then I also listened to something too where, you know, she was talking about how we go through things and we feel like we have no way out. We can't see our way through it, you know, in the darkness, but forgetting that when you're in that space, those challenging spaces, those difficult moments are the moments where you are being groomed and stretched and all of those things. And so it's just like we just have to look at it. We just have to look at it differently. I was like, Dad, when he said the tree, I'm gonna share it with y'all. A tree grows in 2 directions. It grows up and it grows down. And even while it's in the darkness, it's still growing. I said, well, Lord. And it's not until it breaks through the earth that it sprouts up and it's still growing. So I feel like we have to be like those trees, you know, get our feet. Our feet is the root. Get grounded, you know, stand on something, stand firm in something, you know, be mindful with what we speak. Let's start speaking life into ourselves, you know, and because I was going through some affliction, you know, and I don't know how next week going to be, the week after that, but you know, it's another day. But it's just still, you know, let's start breathing life over ourselves. You're going to lose the weight. You are already rich. We are already growing. You've already learned. You will be married. You are a wife. You are a husband. Your kids are healthy. You know, just start speaking things like they are, you know, so that we could just be better, because you only get one life to live, child. My famous line, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah,
So,
fair enough.
Is there anything else y'all want to say?
No.
Had a good time, y'all. I had a good time.
Yes, me too. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Same time next week. Like I said, thanks again for being patient. Thanks, Andre, for rocking with me last week, getting me through. And this was a better time. This week was better, and grateful, you guys. It would nothing beats a failure but a try. As long as you trying, you won't fail, and one day it will click. And so let's just keep on doing that. Keep on being positive, and just keep on working it out within ourselves, man. Fighting that good fight of faith. Faith without works is dead. So if you comfortable being a loser, then you already dead, okay? But all right. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining in on the conversation.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Bye.